All right. Yeah. Yeah. Before getting into the this framework implementation for Selenium Java, okay. So you guys might have worked with Selenium Java earlier in your previous projects of company. The prerequisites to this session, okay. You guys must know the core Java concepts, okay. For writing the programming using Selenium, right? So, and you must know some of the test-ng unit testing framework concepts, like different kind of annotations that we use in the test-ng framework, right? Okay, and also should have the basic knowledge on the page object model, okay, POM, page object model mechanism. How you guys are implementing the page object concept in your Selenium automation framework, and also should have the basic not basic, should know the concepts of Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so without knowing the Selenium WebDriver concept, okay, probably you will not work with the framework implementation. Go on directly, you cannot work on that, right? Okay, so should know the Selenium WebDriver concepts, Java core Java concepts. Also, you must have knowledge on the test-ng. Another guy joined. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, you must know the test-ng unit testing framework concepts, I mean annotations like that, and also should know the basic concepts of the Maven Maven build tool. And apart from that, I thought to also include this BDD feature file implementation. I mean feature file concepts. Probably if you have a time, then we can finish with that also. So initially, I'll go with basic framework. So gradually, I'll be make it as a robust framework for Selenium Java. Okay. Okay. So do you guys know what are the prerequisite softwares to set up the Selenium Java framework in your machine? You might have an idea, right? Okay. So probably if you want to work on the Selenium Java, okay, you must have a couple of tools that you have to install in your system. Okay. So on Windows, we are working on Windows right now. Okay. So the prerequisite softwares like prerequisites. Yes. Right? So JDK, okay, JDK 1.5 above version must be installed. All right. And then after, so if you want to write a code on Selenium Java, right? Okay, you must use some editor. It can be Eclipse or it can be IntelliJ IDE or any other software. But mostly the companies are using Eclipse, and this second position, IntelliJ IDE. But it's based on location, based on the company their requirement. Okay. All right. So we are going to use Eclipse IDE. Okay. In that, there are different kind of packages. You see that, I mean, different kind of versions. You can talk about. You can say different kind of packages. I use Oxygen. Oxygen. Probably it's 3.0 something like that. Okay. You can also use Kepler. You can also use Juno. But probably the people are there are so many people are facing issues with those kind of versions. Okay. If it is fine with your with you, but that's okay. You can go and choose any version. It's not particularly go and choose the Oxygen. But my side, I'm using this Oxygen, which is stable and extensively used for Selenium automation testing. All right. Okay. So JDK and Eclipse and what else we have? We have the Selenium jar files, right? Because we are going to work with Selenium. So probably you need to use the this is for Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver client jar. This is very, very important. And after that, you'll be working on the test-ng framework, right? So test-ng is just like a unit testing framework. Okay, you can use the test-ng jar also. Okay, all right. So test-ng is a unit testing framework is fine. And after that, so I'm going to implement what we can say. I'm going to add the reporting structure, right? So the reporting structure, I'm using extend report. Okay, so this is the third-party software which you're using for generating the report as part of the Selenium Java framework. Okay, We have a different kind of reporting tools in the market. One is extend report, and the other one is we have a AUT reports, and we have Allure reports, and we have a customized reports also. If you want to customize your report, okay, that's based on your based on your Java programming knowledge. Okay, you can also customize your reporting structure. Okay, you can also do some coding, create a different kind of reporting structure based on your client needs. Okay, if client doesn't want to require this extend report or Allure or AUT reports, you can go and customize the report based on your customer requirements. All right. Okay, fine. Then after I will be adding a couple of jar files like the BD cucumber jar files. Okay, this is for feature file feature concept feature file implementation. All right, cucumber. All right, so anything else we are missing, guys? Okay, these are the prerequisites to the set up your Selenium Java framework into your machine, right? And also you need to add the plugins. The plugins is the next level. We'll talk about the plugins too. All right, so when you install, one more guy joined, yeah, when you install this one, second, my laptop stopped again. Yep. All right, so plugins to Eclipse. Okay, so if you're working with Eclipse, right, so probably you need to add some plugins to work with Selenium framework. Okay, Selenium Java. So what kind of plugins you required? So definitely it's required TestNG plugin, and also Maven plugin and Cucumber plugin. If you are implementing this one, you can also use the Cucumber plugin. And anything else you guys to add the plugins? Mostly this is fine. Reporting anyway, we are adding the external jar files. Fine, this is one. All right. Okay, so let's go one by one, and if you're missing something else, we can add in the middle. That's not a problem. Okay, let's start with the setuping these softwares. Okay, I already installed these softwares into my machine, but anyway, I'm showing once again. So JDK download. Okay, so when you just type JDK download, right, the first and foremost URL, you can see that oracle.com. Okay, so just click on this link and try to install any of the latest version. But guys, you are installing the JDK 1.10, I mean JDK 10. Okay, so they're facing a couple of issues. They're not able to recognize some of the jar files into the Eclipse. So I'm suggesting you to download the JDK 1.8. That is 8, JDK 8. And if you go to the bottom, let's go here, JDK 1.8. JDK 8 or 1.8 is fine. Just type this guy, come here. All right, so in the bottom, you can see that JDK Java SC development kit 8U251. And based on your operating system, you can go and install that. If you're Windows 32-bit, you can go and install this guy. And if you're Windows 64, then you can go and see this guy. You know, right, how to check your Windows type. You can go to this PC, right click on this one, properties. This is the one. System type is a 64-bit operating system. Okay, so I'm going to install this guy. This one. Okay, just click on this guy, then accept this one, download it. Okay, so it will ask you to log into this Oracle website because people are using for the automation purpose. That is the reason they are making it as secure one. So that is you need to authenticate to this one, and probably you need to create an account with your Gmail account and just enter details. Okay, it's going to download into your download folder. Okay, so once it is downloaded into your download folder, right, you just click on the that particular JDK and click next. Okay, hardly it will take 1 minute or like that. Okay, so right how to install the JDK and all those things. Okay, and then after the Eclipse. Okay, so before getting to that, so JDK is installed, and if you want to re-verify that JDK is installed into your machine or not, go to the PC, local C drive. Probably you can see program files. Here you should find the JDK folder here. Okay, you come here and check re-verify whether you have successfully installed JDK 1.8 or not. If you have any previous version into the system, okay, so probably you better to uninstall those things and install only JDK 1.8. Okay, there will be no confusion with that. Okay, so anyway, after installing this one, I'm trying to go and set this environment variables for, you know, if you want to run your Java coding from the command prompt. Okay, so I'm gonna set this into the environment variables, this PC, go on properties, advanced system settings. All right, go to advanced tab and environment variables. Okay, so here the system variables you have to set, you know, Java path. Okay, Java underscore home. Sorry, Java underscore home, and give the path. Okay, give the path. So I already given. I'm just closing it. And after giving that, and you come to the this one. Let me check this Java is there or not. It's not there, right? It's not there. Okay, let me go and check first once. Open the command prompt, Java -version. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, I can see this is already set. Let me go back and check once again. I cannot see Java here. I'm not seeing anything here. Here also not seeing anything. But anyway, I'm setting once again. Java underscore home, and copy this guy and paste here. Okay, till Java only. Copy this above one. Okay, button, and come to the path properties. Okay, path properties and edit button. And here you have to create a new environment variables, percentage, and the Java underscore home, again percentage slash till bin folder. Okay, where Java application.exe file exists. Okay, click on this guy. Okay button. Okay button. Okay, so environment variables done for the Java, and then come back to the Eclipse, right? Okay, so you have to visit the eclipse.org website. Just visit this website, eclipse.org. All right, so this is basically it's a exe file that you have to download into your system. Okay, if you don't want exe file, okay, so then you have to go back. Okay, come here. You have multiple options here, like, you know, Eclipse IDE for Java developer. Just click on this guy. So probably you'll be redirecting to the actual one. I don't think this is the icon which I'm looking out for. Come back here, download packages. Let's see that. You see this, you see the different kind of versions you want to choose that. Okay, so which is the best one? Okay, so choose this guy. Remember this icon. Okay, choose this guy, and based on your operating system, you go on to select the particular one. Just click on 64-bit Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java developers. Click on this guy. Once again, if you go back here, you see different kind of versions here. You see these packages, Oxygen package, Eclipse. Click on this guy, and here you can select if you want. Yeah, now you can select here, 60-bit, 64-bit, and click on download one. So this is a free of cost. You can, anyone can use it for Java programming, and if somebody wants to use for any other programming also, they can also use that Eclipse. Okay, so this anyway it's around 334 MB. I already downloaded into my system. I want to use the existing one. Probably I can go and open my Eclipse. Yeah. So once this is the RAR file, right? So once it is downloaded into the system, so what you guys need to do? You just have to extract this file, and this will be extracted like this. Okay, Eclipse folder, and inside that you will see the bunch of folders here, and you need to click on the application file here, Eclipse application file, not Eclipse C, not Eclipse C. You have to click on this icon. All right, so once you open this Eclipse, right, so you will see the workspace where you want to place, source code, okay, your project source code. So you want to create a different kind of workspace that you want to separate into your C drive or D drive, you can place. I just want to create a folder here in the C drive, make a new folder. This is called Selenium Java. I'm sorry, where is that here? This is the one. Selenium Java framework. Okay, fine, no issues. Come here. All right, we have two Selenium Java framework. All right, I'm selecting this guy. Okay, better. So this is the new workspace that you will be creating your Selenium Java framework. I'm just going to launch it. Okay, so there are a couple of more options will be here. Don't use this as a default and do not ask again. Okay, please don't check this one. Otherwise, when you reopen this Eclipse, right? Once you restart your machine, or once you restart the Eclipse, you will not see this window. Okay, so probably you will be end up with you cannot change your workspace. If you want to change your workspace, you cannot change that. That's the problem. Okay, just don't check this one. Click on launch one. All right, so let me go on to see the other one. All right, here we're done with this JDK Eclipse part. I'm opening right now, and a couple of more things. All right, so Maven. So Maven is one of the build tool which we are going to use for Selenium Java automation framework. Okay, most of you guys know about the Maven, right? Maven is a build tool. Basically, why you are using the Maven. Initially, this Maven was developed for the developers, not for the testers. Okay, but later point of time, the testers wanted to use for to making the automation framework robust, and maintaining is easy. Okay, it is understandable where the folder was structurally designed in the Maven project. Okay, so if you have any kind of if you want to know more about the Maven, right, so you have a lot of website, you can go and visit that. Okay, I'm not going to explain each and every concept, right? It's going to take a lot of time. All right, so let me go and yeah, so this is one. So as soon as you open Eclipse, right, you will see this window. Okay, probably you can click on this workspace, or else you can click on this this restore icon. Come here. Okay, you will see a lot of windows over here, right? Okay, just close all those guys. All those guys. Guys, I think the session is recording, right? Fine. All right. All right, so this is the left side, is the project explorer, where you can see the projects or different projects that you're going to create. Okay, and the right side, whatever the file you're going to create is left side, right? So if you want to see the view of that particular file, you can see the right side pane. All right, so better to get hands-on experience in the shortcuts of the Eclipse, so that your work will be smooth. Okay, and you don't need to spend a lot of manual stuff. Okay, all right, so if you want to start with the Selenium Java framework, right? So obviously you have to choose a Maven as a project. Okay, we right now nobody is using the general project for the Selenium Java framework. Okay, because that's not going to be best practices for the automation guys. All right, so I'm going to use a Maven project. So how to create a project here in the Eclipse? Go to the file, go to the new, and here you will see different kind of projects here. Guys, if you have any kind of different versions, okay, apart from this Oxygen, right? Okay, you will not see these many options. Okay, so nowadays, the Eclipse guy is providing all the inbuilt projects here. Okay, they're giving a lot of stuff here. So if you go to the other kind of packages, right, Juno or Kepler, so you will see the Maven project and all those things in the others. Here you will see the projects names here. Okay, so if you want to create directly Maven project here, come to the file and new and click on the Maven project. This is what, click on this Maven project. All right, see, when you try to create a project here, right, so you'll see this window, new Maven project. Okay, and here there are a couple of more options here. Create a simple project. I'm just going to select this guy. Okay, click on next, and here the people are getting confused, what is the group ID and artifact ID? Okay, so no need to confuse that. It's not that much, difficult to learn about this one. Basically, these group ID, artifact ID are going to be created in the prom.xml file, and this group ID, artifact ID act like, this artifact ID is a project name that you are going to create. Okay, example, I'm going to create Selenium Java framework. Okay, I want to see this framework name at the left side. Okay, so the artifact ID is a project name, and group ID is going to create example Selenium .java .project. You can give anything here. Okay, there is no particular thing that you have to give here. You can give anything. That's not a problem. Okay, so these group ID and artifact ID is part of the Maven project. Okay, these will be there in the pom.xml file, and finish button. All right, so it's getting created. You see in the bottom. And guys, once you create the Maven project, right, don't try to change the name of the project name. Okay, otherwise you'll end up with a lot of errors. Okay, a lot of errors. So once it is created, just keep it as it is. Go with that particular name. Or if you want to change it, you can change it. But few of the people getting some issues when they're working with, when they're changing the project name. All right. So it's still getting created the project, and right now if you see this, right, so when you're working in the Maven project, okay, the pom.xml will be automatically created by the Maven project, and this pom.xml is the heart of the Maven project here. This heart of the Maven project. Without pom.xml, you cannot work with the Maven project. That is what is going to here. Okay. All right. You come here, you see the two different artifact ID and group ID here. You see this? These are placed in the pom.xml, and this one is reflecting here as the project name. All right, so what is the pom.xml? Okay, see, people are getting confusion. What is the difference between Maven pom and the framework pom? This is the project object model, and that is the page object model. And you need to remember that pom.xml is a project object model. Okay, so where you need to define all the related dependencies to your project. Okay, if you're working on Selenium project, right, and you need to keep all those references in this particular pom.xml so that we can access those particular classes and interfaces in this framework. All right, as example, you're working with the other kind of languages, other kind of frameworks. Okay, you need to use those references. That references in the sense, the jar files kind of stuff. The dependencies, we can talk about dependencies. All right, it is created here. Okay. Yes, so this is the folder structure you see. This src main Java, src main resources, test Java, test resources. So basically, for developers, they are going to use all these kind of folder structures. For testers, mostly use 2 or 3, not all the things. I don't want to use this src main resources. Remove this guy. Okay, if you don't want this particular folder, right? Okay, you can remove it. Okay, unnecessarily, we're going to be confused for you. All right. So what is the purpose of these 3 different kind of source files, source folders are placed in the Maven project? Okay, what is the reason? So do you have any restriction to create this particular file in this particular folder? There is no restriction, guys. You can create anything anywhere in this particular folders. But when you're working in a Maven project, right, we need to follow certain standards to maintain your framework in a robust way. All right, and the other guys also should understand when you're working with this framework. Okay, they also having some idea in their mind saying that okay, src test Java, in the sense all the test scripts will be replaced in the particular folder. And what is the test src test resources, and all the source files like XML files, Excel files, any kind of flat files, .csv or .json, okay, or .properties. Yeah, probably these kind of files will be placed in the resources file. So they have different kind of mindset when they are working with the Maven project. So we have to follow that particular standard. Okay, so now I'll tell you. See, src test Java is basically where you will be creating all the different classes, okay, which are used to your framework. All right, only classes. Okay, And it's not we are not restricting to use only for classes. You can also use anything, but we have to follow certain standard. All right, so when it's come to the test as resources, right? So here we'll be using kind of .xml files. It's a kind of .csv files, JSON files, CSV files. So all these files will be placed in this particular folder. Why we are using all those files? Example, if you want to parameterize your test data from the Excel file, so those kind of Excel files, test data will be placed in the test resources. Okay, that means for testing resources. Testing resources is a kind of different kind of files. All right, and if you want to add any kind of a main Java, okay, so here you can place anything. It's not a particular one. I probably use for the main Java is for page object page. Page factory, and I also use sometimes for you can say screenshots, screenshot capturing, and also use for reporting. Also you can use for that. Okay, the specific one. Okay, specific one. Should not be get confused. Placing the common files in the different folders. Okay, use the test Java file only for classes and interfaces, and resources for only files, that XML file, CSV, JSON, XML, and this will be for the screenshot capturing, report purpose, whatever you want, you can do it. Okay, or else you can create, if you want to create a different kind of folders in the project level, I don't want to use these things, you can go and create here. Example here, I want to create a different folder. Come here, new folder. This is going to be example test report. Yeah, I want to use at this bottom. Okay, all right. Okay, so I see the other one here, src. Here also I'm seeing the src main test Java. Okay, so don't get confused. This one is a part of these folders. Okay, whatever the files you're going to place in this particular folders, right? When you compile the code, automatically the .class files will be generated in this particular src main test Java folders. Okay, forget about this one. Don't worry about that. Okay, and the other one is the target folder. Okay, the target folder is one of the important concept in the Maven project. Target folder in the sense, example, once you compile all the code, right? Okay, all the code. So all the projects related class files and interfaces, all the files will be created as a .class files and also jar files. Okay, project jar files as well as class files. And whenever you clean the Maven project, it automatically clear those .class file which are compiled earlier. That will automatically clear when you run the Maven project. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me set it up once. This is my project right now, and here you have to set common things here. As soon as you create a project, right, you have to set the JRE system library. Right click on this one, properties, and here the current engine is JRE engine is running right now. But if you want to work on Selenium Java, right, so you have to run your framework on JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, so in that case, what you have to do, you just go to the install jars, add JREs, next directory, this PC. So I'm looking out for the where the Java is installed in my machine, local C drive. All right, where I'm seeing that Java program files, come here, Java till JDK only, not bin. Okay. All right, so these are different jar files are placed in the JDK. I'm trying to finish it and select this JDK ones. Apply, close. Now here you have to select JRE, so J2SE is 1.5 selected and should be targeted to the JDK 1.7 and Java SE 1.7 and JDK 1.8. Okay, it has to be selected this one. All right, okay. And guys, this is a question hour for 5 minutes. Okay, any questions please can ask, please, because we're gonna start now build up the framework as fast as we can. Guys, any questions so far? Because I'm a bit fast because time is not sufficient, right? So 2 hours we won't. 2 hours is not sufficient to finish this framework. Okay, so if you want to implement this framework in your company, right, probably you'll take a week, right? Okay, so guys, any questions, please feel free to ask any questions, any questions, any layman question also will be answered. If you don't have any questions, I'll start in another minute. Any questions related to the softwares or projects? Anything? Anything out of the box? No question, guys? At least says no questions.
Yes, it's fine.
Wonderful, wonderful, guys. See, okay, so we'll come to the first. People are getting confused. When they're creating the Selenium Java framework. Okay, where to start? Okay, they're stopping there itself. Where to start? How to start? When to start? Okay, so guys, before getting into that, can you see my this font? Let me increase that font. Shall I increase that font? Probably I have to increase that.
Yeah,
It's fine.
It's fine, right? Because I can see that in a small.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Selecting the best framework, best font. I think you can see that. All right. I think you can see this now. Fine. All right. So people are getting confusion, even though they are expertise into the Selenium concepts. They can easily work with any kind of framework. They can also easily work with writing the test scripts and all those things. They can easily implement any kind of reusability method at the framework level. But still, they are having a confusion where to start and how to start and all those things. Okay, guys, keep in mind when you want to start a Selenium Java framework, there are a couple of things that you have to remember. Okay, you have to recall. First of all, come here. Okay, so first you choose an application. Guys. What is the application? So it is a web application. It is a web application. Okay, so I'm going to take a application called Demo Web Shop, which is having all type of controls so that we can automate this one. This is the one. Okay, I found this is the website. This is the right website. I can automate it. Okay, so you guys also, if you want to automate any website, so come to land on this page and try to automate this website. Probably you can achieve all sorts of the concepts covered as part of the Selenium concepts. Okay, all right. I'm taking this as example. So you need to think first. Okay, this is my website. Okay, you need to go through the website once. Okay, so this website is basically designed by the .NET. Okay, and this is for I'm just saying sample. This website designed by the .NET as a background development. They use some HTML as a front-end development, and also they use some database MySQL. Okay. Oh, you need to think about the application type. Okay, it's a .NET application. Okay, so I'm trying to choose Selenium automation. Selenium is a automation tool to automate this website. For Java, .NET, probably the Selenium will definitely support 100%. No doubt in that. Okay, maybe a few of the controls which are designed by other kind of tools probably will not support. Okay, so first you need to go through your website completely. Okay, and check all kind of screens that you're having. Okay, what kind of application, what kind of functionality being developed. Okay, all these type of scenario. I mean, all these type of controls that how it designed and all those things. Okay, check all the screens. Okay, it's perfect. Okay, there is no loading kind of stuff. It's perfectly loading in time. Okay, I can go to any other sites, any other page. I can go and use that. Okay, so after going through your website, right? Okay, you need to identify a couple of more things. This website has a lot of pages, a lot of screens, a lot of modules. Probably I need to choose a page object model. Probably I need to choose a page object model concept to my Selenium framework. Okay, I need to note it down. For my web application, I need to choose what is, you can say, page object model as a design pattern. Okay, guys, you should know one thing. Page object model is not a framework. People are calling dummy, it's a framework. It's not a framework. It's a kind of design pattern that we are using at the framework level. We are using the design patterns. Design patterns. Okay, it is a design patterns. All right. All right, so the design pattern, we are going to use it because in my web application, there are more type of, I can see a lot of models here, a lot of screens here. Probably I need to choose a different kind of screens or different kind of pages into my framework level. All right, let's example, if your web application is having only few screens, like 2 to 3 screens. Some application will have only 2 to 3 screens. They won't have much screens. If it is a small project, right, you will have only 1 or 2 screens. In that case, probably the page object model may not required. Page object model may not required, because if you want to implement the page object model concept in your framework, right, it's going to take time. Without taking, I mean, instead of taking time on spending implementing this page object model into your framework, right, you can go and use a common framework. Okay, it's a common framework you can use, data-driven framework. That is more than enough, right? So we have a different type of frameworks: data-driven framework, hybrid, keyword-driven, page object model design pattern, and BDD Cucumber. Okay, so these are the different type of frameworks are available in the market. And also getting confusion. Okay, you're saying your page object model, you want to take it. Why should I not take about the other frameworks? Data-driven framework is there. Why should I not that? And why should I not take this hybrid framework? We have a keyword-driven framework. Guys, the keyword-driven, hybrid, and data-driven is outdated now. Why outdated? Still, people are using the companies. It's not outdated. Okay, they have a different kind of mindsets and saying that the hybrid and this data-driven is completely deprecated. They are not using the companies. Of course, they are not using the company. If it is a big projects, if you're working for a big project in the company, right, probably they won't use these models, these frameworks, like the data-driven, keyword-driven. They are not using it. Why they are not using it? We are necessarily making a complex our framework. Why complex? Simple. So when you're working with a web application, right, guys, you have to be so careful on identifying the objects. Okay, identifying the objects is not a difficult job, but where to place it? I need to place somewhere else. All these object properties I need to place somewhere else. If it is a big application, placing all the properties in one place is going to be difficult. If it is a big application, this is a big application, right? Okay, you have a lot of screens here. If you want to keep all these properties, okay, all these properties in one place, okay, that is going to be difficult for your framework to maintain. I'm not talking about the page object model. Page object model will facilitate it to easy to maintain your, what is that? Properties of a web element. That is the reason the page object model becoming famous nowadays. Okay, this design pattern becoming famous because of it's giving, okay, lot of benefits to the you can say customers, or else lot of benefits to the automation testers. Okay, whatever the properties that you're taking, you're placing in that particular file only, that page only. As example, there is a registration screen. Okay, you will be creating one registration page in your framework, and you will be placing all these controls in the registration page only. And if it is a login page, you want to create a login page into your framework, and you'll be placing only login page properties in that particular folder only, in the particular file only. Okay, so that means the maintenance is easy. The maintenance is very easy. If you want to place all these properties in one place, it's going to be difficult to manage, and it's going to be identify the failure at runtime. It's going to be difficult. Okay, that is a traditional, that is a old framework, like data-driven framework, hybrid framework, keyword-driven framework. They are using all these properties in one place. But when it's come to the page object model, they are using all the controls in different pages, which are I mean, respect to that particular page. All right, and also maintenance is easy. If you're facing any issue at runtime, okay, you can go and directly visit that particular screen, particular page, and you can easily identify that. Okay, so that is the reason we are using the page object model. Okay, and also this is one of the major important advantage when you're using the page object model. There is no duplicacy. What is the duplicacy? When it's come to the data-driven framework or hybrid and keyword-driven framework, right? You will see the duplicate functions, and you will see the duplicate properties. Duplicate functions and duplicate properties. Okay, example, if you want to identify a particular element, okay, driver dot find element by dot some register dot click. This will be using across all the different kind of test scripts. You have a bunch of test scripts, you want to use that. You will be using all different kind of test scripts. If it is failing one place, you have to fix all the test scripts. Okay, so you will have duplicacy and you will have a maintenance difficulty in other frameworks. The benefit of page update model is maintenance is easy and also there is no duplicacy. Okay, so why do we waste our time now to this explaining all these things? We can directly go on and implement that page update model. I want to see that. So if you want to implement that, so first of all, what I'll do, I'll go and create a folder structure first. Okay, you don't need to create all the folders at once. Based on your requirement, you can go and create those things. First of all, when you're creating the framework and if you want to create a particular, folder structure, right? Okay, you come to this SAS.java, right click on this guy, new, and this is the package name. Package is nothing but it's a kind of folder. It's a kind of folder. I want to create a different folders where I want to create different classes. Instead of creating in one package, in one package, creating all the classes is going to be difficult. It's not going to be difficult. It's a confusing path, right? So I'm going to create different packages here. Okay. So here, the people are in the companies, they are following different kind of standards. I'm following com dot your project name dot and type of class that you want to create in this particular package. Okay, so my project name is demo web shop. Okay, you can give a project name and here test base. Okay, see first if you're confusing to create, okay, which one I have to create first. Okay, first you go and create the test base. Test base is the heart of your Selenium Java framework. Okay, I'm going to create this package. Okay, and after that I want to create a class inside that test base. This is called test base. Guys, the first letter should be capital. If you are giving the small letter, it will give a warning. Okay, this is not the best practice that you have to do. Test is a capital, and if you want to give the consecutive words also should be capital, like test base. Finished up it. Don't select any main method. Guys, do not use any main method in this when you're working with the Selenium test engine framework. Okay, all right. So class is created. So before writing the code inside the test base, okay, we'll talk about this test base later. First of all, you should add all the references, jar files into your project. Okay, so as we discussed in the this one right here, Selenium jar files. Okay, if you want to use Selenium classes and interfaces, Selenium WebDriver class and interfaces into your so what is that classes? Okay, probably you need to use the jar files, right? So how to use the jar files here? See, we'll be not using any kind of adding any jar files in this particular project because we are using a Maven project. Maven project will help you to add the particular dependencies related to the particular jar files. Okay, so earlier, if you want to add the jar file, if you have created the general project here, you have to add the jar files. Okay, that mechanism is deprecated right now. Now, if you want to add jar files to a particular Maven project, you have to come to the Maven repo website. Okay, and here, this is the website mavenrepository.com, and here you need to search for the particular jar file. Okay, I'm looking for the Selenium jar file. If you don't know particular name of the jar file, you just type Selenium. You see there are different kind of jar files here. Selenium Java, Selenium API, support, server. But which one I have to take it? So guys, when you're working Selenium WebDriver, right? Okay, we are working Java. And Selenium WebDriver is a client driver, which is supporting to the different languages. Java, C#, Ruby, Python, Perl, PHP, JavaScript. Okay, so we are working in Selenium Java, right? So we have to select the Java. And right now, the latest version is 4.0.0 alpha, which is not officially released to the users outside. So I'm not suggesting to use this, and better to go and use 3.141.5. Okay, click on this guy. Here you will be landing to the Selenium, the dependencies. Okay, so here if you want to add the jar files, you can download here also. No, I don't want to add jar files. I want to add a dependency. Here you will see that. Copy this guy, come here and paste here. Same pasting, I'm getting some error here. You see this? Okay, why I'm getting error? Because this dependency should be under the dependency stack. Dependency stack. You see that dependency stack? Okay, cut this guy, come here, paste here. Once you save it, right, automatically it's downloading the jar files. You see that? Whatever the bunch of jar files there in the client driver, Selenium client driver, WebDriver client driver, what are the jar files are there? So that will be downloading now. So it is taking some time, 98%, 100% done. And you will see a created folder here, created file here, Maven dependencies. You see this? These are the different jar files which are wrapped up into the Selenium Java. Selenium Java, okay? Selenium WebDriver Java. All right, so I'm done with the Selenium Java. So probably I can go and do the Selenium stuff here. Come here, test base. What to create basically WebDriver or a favorite interface. Okay, control space, and you should see the imports of the particular jar file. Okay, here you're not getting anything. You see that? You're not getting this. Selenium, sorry, org.openqr.selenium. Click on this guy. I'm trying to create an object for this. All right, so now I can use the different kind of classes and interfaces as part of the Selenium Java client driver, right? Now, fine, that's fine. So I'll be adding a couple of more things. What is that next one? TestNG also. Come here, go there, TestNG. All right, come here and open the TestNG once here. This is for unit testing, right? So if you want to use a different kind of annotations at the framework level, okay, so probably you have to use this. You can take the latest version, no issues here, 7.1.0. Click on this guy and copy the dependency. Okay, all right, save it. See, once it's saved, once it paste and save it, right? So automatically download the jar files here. You see the left side here where the TestNG is installed. You want to see that? What is that? Here, TestNG iPhone 7.1.0. You'll see that. So tomorrow, if you don't want to use this jar file, right, you just comment it. You just comment it, Control Shift backslash. Okay. Probably you see this once again. This one. All right. So just comment this, Control Shift back arrow, save it. Okay. It's automatically removed from this particular Maven dependencies because it's no longer used in your project level. Okay. I'm just unblocking it. So this is the beauty of Maven pom.xml. Okay, whatever the jar files you want to use, you can use for that. Okay, tomorrow you don't want to use these jar files. Okay, this is not required to my framework. You can come here and you can just comment it. Okay, all right. And then after, I'll be using a couple of more things. Extend report. Extend report will be using it, right? So come back to this one. Type extend. Extend report. All right. All right. So you see this automation. Chicken. Extend report. What is that? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just remove this guy, type extend. Yeah, I'll see that. Extend report. So Maven stack, com.Maven stack. Just go here. Remember this guy, com.Maven stack, extend reports. Come here. Probably I don't want to take this latest version. I probably take a different version. Let me see the version that I've taken earlier. Extend report 2.4. Okay, let me go and use that. Anyway, I want to use the 4.1.7. That's not a problem. Copy this guy. Copy this one. I don't think this is the one that I've used. Okay, anyway, let me see the previous one. 3.1. I've been stuck. See, if you go back to the previous versions, right? Like example in 2.0. The package name, the group ID is different. That is a relevant codes like that. Okay. Recently, this extend report guy changed a lot of stuff. Okay, the reporting mechanism kind of stuff. Okay, copy this guy. Copy this guy. Anyway, latest one, paste here. All right. See, this jar follows is getting downloaded. So right now, what we are doing, we are just adding the particular references, jar for references to your project. If you want to work with, if you want to design your framework extensively with all kind of inputs, okay, it's also all sorts of concepts that you want to implement as part of your framework, right? You have to use all jar files, classes, and all those things, okay? And this is fine. And what else we have? The other one is when you're working in Maven project, right? Okay, probably you have to run this Maven project. Maven project with the Maven goals. Okay, there are a couple of concepts. It's not a couple of concepts. There are a couple of models that you have to use when you're running the Maven project. Okay, if you want to know more about the Maven, right? So you better to go and learn the Maven tutorials. Okay, so that is very, very important for you to learn. And here, after adding these dependencies, right? So okay, the one of the most important things you need to add plugins for the Maven. Okay, this is where the Maven project or basically trigger to run your classes from the project. Okay, so here it will be adding into the build. Okay, in the build tag, I will be adding into the plugins. Okay, these are different kind of plugins that you have to add, enter, and here, sorry, what is this? All right, come here, and here you need to add different type of plugin. Inside the plugins, you can add different type of plugins. Okay. All right. So the first plugin that I want to add inside this plugin, okay, the Maven plugins, Maven Surefire plugins. Where is that? I can find it. Maven Surefire plugins. If I go here, Control T, in the Google you can find Maven Surefire plugin. Sorry, Surefire plugin for Maven. It's a plugin, right? Just type a plugin. It's not a dependency, guys. Plugin. You will find the different things here. I can see that. No way here. Go back. Probably you can see. No. Yeah. It's a. This is different again. I don't want to use this guy. Oh, sorry. Examples Java codes. I think this guy is having a couple of things. All right, so where is that Maven Surefire plugin? You see this? So this is the plugin where we have to add it. So just copy this guy only. So not everything. Copy it till here. Okay, copy it till here. I'm sorry, where is this? Close pop-up. I just copy these things. Come back to your things. Paste here. Okay, and inside that, okay. All right. So when you're working with the pom.xml, right? Okay. If you're running the pom.xml, okay, it doesn't recognize what you want to run bus. You want to run something else? Yes, I want to run a test.ng XML file from the pom.xml. So in that case, you have to use a configuration concepts, configuring the XML files. Here, suit XML files. I'll talk about this at test.ng.xml later. Let me get it first. XML files, and here inside that suit XML file. All right, so here you have to use test.ng.xml. But where is the test.ng.xml? Okay, I'll go and create one file here. Right click on this project, go here, file. Okay, test.ng.xml. See, when you're creating like this, right, test.ng.xml at the project level, okay, so it automatically recognizes that this file at the project level. Let's say example, if you're creating this file into a particular folder, right? Example here, right click on this one, I'm creating a folder. What you can say, XML files. All right. So if you want to place inside this XML file here, so probably you have to give the path here. You have to provide the path. Okay. User directory. Okay. System.user directory, as well as you have to give the /XML files. Okay. Like this. XML files / like this, you have to provide it. Okay, so probably you will be facing a couple of more issues while configuring this. Better to place outside. Okay, there is no problem with that. I'm placing outside. All right, so it will be very easy. So why I'm using this Maven Surefire plugin to run your Maven project with this particular suit file. What is there in the test.ng.xml? Nothing is there, right? So because I didn't create anything in my framework so far, okay, I'll come to the testng.xml later and come back to the test base, right? And here, probably you added most of the things that not most of the things, the required jar files to your project. You can start off with your this one. What is that? Your base one. Okay, fine, sir. What is the base? What we create in the base files? Okay, I'll comment here. Here in these base files, basically configuration of your browsers. Okay, probably you can also create all reusable methods. Okay, probably you'll be creating reporting utilities. Okay, probably you'll be using property readers. Okay, I'll talk about the property readers later. Probably you'll be reading the XML readers also. Okay, so that means this is a base where you'll be creating the driver class, and this driver class will invoke across all your framework classes. This is very, very important, where you have to create the driver interface. Okay, that driver object has to be created for the WebDriver, and you'll be placing, okay, you'll be creating the browser invoke related stuff. Okay, you'll be invoking to the browser, opening the browser. It can be Chrome, Firefox, IE, or whatever it is, and you'll be navigating to the particular website, the demo website, and after that you'll be using your test scripts. You'll be adding your tests and you'll be running that. Okay, but configuration related stuff you have to place in the test base only. Okay, because when you're running the project, right? Okay, initially it will come and stand in the test base. The driver will come here and stand in the test base, and is looking for where is my driver. Okay, the driver will drive all the steps in your test scripts. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Okay, I'm creating an object here. Okay, so what is the configuration of the browser here? What is the configuration of the browser here? So here, what I'll do, I'm creating an object. I'm creating a method for the initializing the browser. Okay, all right. So how to initializing the browser here? Come here. I'm creating a method, public void. This is a way to create a method, right? So here, invoke browser, or we can say setup. You can use anything. Okay, invoke browser, and here I'm adding the code. Okay, the first thing is if. Why I'm using if condition? Because if you're working with the multiple browsers, right, probably you have to give the configuration, proper configuration to the browser to browser. So that is the reason I'm using if my browser, browser dot contains, okay, contains of, okay, Chrome, and here is my configuration. Okay, then else if browser dot contains EFF or Firefox, you can give any shortcut, no issues. Firefox, and the proper the respective code you have to give it here. If you're working only 3 browsers, right? So probably you can end up with else block. Okay, so here you have to write for the IE browser. But where is this browser coming from? Okay, so this is an object where you have to create it. So here in the string browser, I'm giving it. This I will be calling into my test script. Okay, in my test script, when I call this invoke browser is equal to Chrome, right? So this particular block will be executed. All right, if my browser is equal to Firefox, this block will be executed. If it is not both of them, then it's going to execute the IE browser. Probably we'll be working on these 3 browsers mainly into our Selenium automation testing, right? Okay, all right, so that is fine. So I probably have to do this. All right. All right. So yeah, fine. All right. So what is there in this particular one? All right. So when you're working with this Chrome, right, this fine. But if you're working on the Windows machine, probably tomorrow you are going to work with this Mac machine. So in that case, it's going to be difficult to run this. So you need to keep in mind saying that you have to configure your framework, okay, based on your operating systems also. Okay, so here I'm adding one more this one. Okay, here, this one, I'm probably adding, we can say, okay, OS dot contains, OS dot contains, here win shortcut. Okay, I'm using shortcut. All right, so this case, sorry, if this is equal to this one. All right, so if it is equal to OS dot contains of Windows, and this block will be executed till here will be executed, and else for the above one, else for the above one, we can say like this, no issues. If else if of OS dot contains Mac. Okay, and here you have to write for different conditions. Okay, browser dot contains, okay, Safari, and here, and else probably you'll be working for the Chrome there itself. Okay, not more than 2 browsers in the Mac machine. Yes, so if it is a Windows, probably will be launching these activities, and if it is a Mac, then we'll be launching these activities. But where is my OS, sir? It's getting confusion, right? So what I'll do, so this one we should not keep in this one, in this particular method. Okay, we should not keep that particular object or variable inside this particular method, because mostly we are running these things on the Windows machine, right? Okay, but anyway, I'll give the best suggestion here. Go and create a properties in the sense, you come here, properties. When it's come to the properties, right, properties in the sense, you'll be adding the extra configuration related stuff in this particular configuration file. So for that, I'll be creating a file here, com dot what is that, demo web shop dot config related stuff. All right, here I'm creating a file called, I'm sorry, not class, a file. Where is the file here? Yeah, I can see others. File here, go to file, and here, this is called config.properties. Okay, do not think these properties are related to the that web UI element properties. It is a configuration related stuff. Okay, example, I want to get the browser name from here. Browser name is equal to Chrome. Okay, example, OS dot name is equal to Win. Okay, let's example, username is equal to Arkudikala. Password is equal to some test123. Okay, what are the things you want to use it? Example, your SQL server username is equal some my test db. SQL server password is equal to my test db123. So that means, whatever the reusable data, this is going to be changed. Okay, but if you want to run on Chrome browser, Firefox browser, right, you can come here and you can change the Firefox so that your test scripts will run on only Firefox browser. All right, so I'm using the Chrome only right now. Okay, fine. To read this config.property file, obviously we need to read this one. How to read this file? Come back to the test base, public void. You can say properties function. All right, right, how to read the property files, how to read the property files. So probably I need to write the code here. All right, so properties, where is it? See, java.util. Okay, properties, and your object name is called prop is equal to new properties. Okay, new properties. I'm creating an object for the properties. These properties are going to read your config.property files. So how to read that? Okay, so for that, so basically you might have seen that, if you want to read the XML files or CSV files, whatever it is, you have to use the file input stream concept. File input stream concept in Java is to read the particular files, Excel files, or you can say property files, those things. Okay, so I'm using the file input stream concept here. I'm sorry. So that is the reason I'm asking to learn some Java concept. FIS is equal to new file input stream, right? New file input stream. All right. So this is a file name. Where is the file here? The file is located here, right? Copy this one, right click on this one, properties, copy the location of the file. Copy the location of file. Double quotation, sorry, paste here. Guys, do remember, see this one, if I give this path, right, if somebody wants to use the same framework in their machine, right, this path may not be located because it is there in my C drive. But if we import this project in D drive, this path will not work. So that is the reason I'm giving system directory path. System directory path in the sense, it will first look for the directory name, and then after in the folders, then after in the package. All right. So how to give that? You have to give like this: system dot get property, what is that? Get property, and here you can use user directory, user dot directory. Then after you can give, okay, so till here this means the project name will come. In that, what is the folder here? Plus, till here you can use that. See, remove this guy. Make sure you have to give the double quotation, guys. Okay, double quotation is very important to read okay, the path of the particular location file in the Java. Okay, if you're giving single path, right, okay, it will end up with error. All right, so I'm using this. Okay, I'm reading this file from the particular location. Which location is as Java, and this web shop config and config.properties. Fine. Then after, I have to load the property file, prop.load of particular file. Which files are FIS file? I'm loading it. I'm loading it. So then after, I want to print this, whether it is printing properly or not, and whatever the data is in the configured properties, right? This is printing or not. I want to test it. Okay, so how to test it? Just can give some property files, properties. I'm sorry, property file data. Okay, here I want to give some prop. So prop is an object, right? This prop object, and it's loaded with the data from the config.properties, and I'm just printing it whether it's printing or not. All right, fine. But this is not the best practice that you have to use it. So better to use these objects, okay? These objects at this particular method level only. So we have to make it as a global field. Cut this guy, come here, and paste here. Here, prop, okay? And whatever the object you're creating inside the class, right, inside the method, right, guys, please put it at the global level, okay, so that you can use across all the classes at the framework level. FIS, is that a phrase? Yes, fine, perfect. All right, now it's fine, good, looks good. Okay, so probably I have to give the full access to these guys, public static. Okay, I'm giving the public static here also. Probably you will not face any kind of issues. I also want to use this guy for the static driver. All right, when it's come here, we are stopping here, right? OS.contains. I want to see this OS. Here, if you want to read the properties from the config.properties, right? We already created an object for this. Okay, here, come here. Sorry, where is this? Okay, come here. System dot get property, the last single string key, and here you have to give the key. See guys, if you go to the config property side, the left side is the key and right side is the value. Left side is a key and right side is a value. And keep in mind that which one you have to give here. We are talking about OS, right? Where is the OS? This is the key. Copy this guy, come back here and paste here. That means this value is when. This value is when. Windows. Come here, copy the same thing, cut here, paste here. Hope you guys understand, right? This property os.name.contains of Windows, and this code should be executed. This code should be executed. All right. The same way I should do for this one also. Mac also. Copy this guy and paste here. All right. But what about the browser, sir? Can I use the same thing for that? Right, of course. Copy this guy. Come here. properties, and here double quotation. What is this? It's a browser name. It's a browser name. So guys, there should be a naming convention. Not naming convention. It's a case sensitive, guys. Whatever the name here, right? It should be same name. Okay. It should be same name, same key value. Okay. If you're missing cap letter, small letter, right? Okay. If you're giving wrong, it won't work. It won't work. Okay. What about this one? What is this Chrome again? Don't need to worry about that. Copy this browser name here, paste here. Runtime it will check. Runtime it will check. This one is contain the browser name. Okay. Right now it's set to the this one. Configure property is called Chrome. Okay. Now come here. Probably it's not required for this. Is that required, guys? I don't think it is required for this browser level. Like where I can use this browser then? Okay, I can use the test level. Don't worry, I can use the test level. Probably I can remove this guy. Right now I'm removing it. I can remove browser.contains. Okay, because we need a configuration, right? So if the browser is equal to Chrome, so based on this only it will come. It will work. All right. Probably I have to give something here. All right. Yep. Something coming here. Okay, throw exception or sound. Yeah. Cut this guy. All right. So why am I using try catch here? Probably no. If the file is not found in this location, right? The configure properties, it will throw an exception called as file not found exception, so that you can come here and you can check the particular path. Okay, you can fix it. All right. So we are done with the property readers configuration, and then after we have to add the particular Chrome related stuff. Okay. Right now we'll go with the Chrome only because writing all the code for the Firefox and IE browser is going to take time. All right. So first one, we're adding some, if you want to work on the Chrome, right? So probably you have to add the system.set property for the Chrome driver. Chrome driver. Okay. This is outdated, guys. Okay. Please do not use this guy. Please do not use it. Okay. Use the WebDriver manager concept. So replace of system.set property, use the Selenium WebDriver manager. So for that, you need to add extra jar files. Okay. Come to the Maven repository. Come here. WebDriver manager. Okay, this type here. You see this WebDriver manager. Come here. Okay, probably you can take anything 4.0. Copy this jar file dependency. Come to the format.xml. Paste anywhere. Save it. Okay, the jar file is going to download into the Maven dependencies. Probably you can see somewhere else here. WebDriver manager. I cannot see that, but it's still downloading. Sorry. All right, it's almost done. All right. Yeah, WebDriver manager probably resides somewhere else. I cannot see that. Okay, you can go to the test base. Here, if you're working for the Chrome, right? Okay, you can use a method WebDriver manager. Control space. See this WebDriver manager. Dot which browser you want to work on it. Chrome driver. Sorry, Chrome driver. Enter. Dot setup. Okay, so this is setting up the particular system.set property for the Chrome driver. Okay, you don't need to add any system.set property and adding the dot Chrome driver.exe file and all those things. Okay, just ignore that and come here and add this guy. And then after, what you have to do, you have to add the capabilities for the particular Chrome browser, right? Okay, so in that case, what I'm doing, I'm using Chrome options to set the arguments. Chrome options is equal to new Chrome options, and here options dot add arguments. So here there are a list of methods. You will see that. So here I want to add my browser should be invoked in the incognito mode. Okay, if you want the browser to be in incognito mode, like browsers will be open like this. Okay, there will not be any issues in that. This one. Okay, right. So yeah, come here and come here. Where is that? Yes, here. Incognito mode. Okay, all right. Come here And then after, and try to create a desired capabilities for your browser. Desired capabilities, okay. Cap is equal to new desired capabilities dot which browser you want to launch it, Chrome browser, right? Chrome. And then whatever the browser you want to invoke, right? Driver is equal to new Chrome driver, and here you have to add the capabilities. All right, and probably you need to set this capabilities dot set capabilities, because we use the Chrome options, right? Set capabilities. Here you need to add Chrome options dot Chrome capability, and the value is this option. Otherwise there is no link for that. All right, so something went wrong here. That's not a problem. Don't worry about this guy. All right, so my Chrome is done. My Chrome configuration is done. Okay, if you want to add for the Firefox also, let's add it first. Okay, fatapat. And here, same thing. WebDriver manager. You don't need to add any Gecko driver, guys. Okay, so for Firefox, you have to add system.set property Gecko driver, but that Gecko driver we're not using in this one. Sorry, WebDriver manager dot Firefox driver dot setup. Okay, this is enough. And then afterwards, you have to use Firefox, right? So Firefox options, and FP is equal to new Firefox options. Okay, and here I'm going to add the location of the Firefox browser. So where the Firefox is installed in my machine. So here, if you go to the C drive, go to the program files, and here you see the Mozilla. Any Mozilla is not there. So probably you will see Mozilla path here. So you have to set that path here, where string some path is equal. Okay, string some path is equal. You have to add the C drive Mozilla path. Mozilla, where the Mozilla is installed in your machine. Okay, so for Chrome is not required. Probably you can give the path like this. You can give it. Okay, I can give something Mozilla. In my system, Mozilla is not installed. That is the reason it's coming like this. Double slash, you can see firefox.com, firefox.exe. All right. All right. So now we have to give options that set binary. I'm sorry. Where is that? Not options. FP dot set binary. Set binary of this particular path. So your Firefox will invoke based on this configuration. Otherwise, your Firefox will not work. Okay. Driver is equal to, then same. Driver is equal to new Firefox driver, right? New Firefox driver. Firefox driver. All right. So here you want to have Firefox options. All right. So we are done with the Firefox configuration also. Forget about the IE right now. So taking a lot of time in this one. All right. So once you're done with this guy, okay, you have a base is ready for the invoking the driver. Now you have to come to the particular project, okay, here, and you have to create a test one. Right click on this one, come back here, package name, com dot demo web shop dot test scripts. Okay, test scripts. Finish done. All right, here I'm creating one class that is called some example register. Okay, so in this my website, there is a registration link. I mean, module is there. I wanna automate that. Okay, so come here. So any test scripts, okay, any test scripts should be extends with the your base class, because the driver is placed here, right? Driver is placed here. You come here, extends test base. So why you're doing extends? Because we are using inheritance concept to reuse the reusable purpose. Already the base class driver is created here. So I want to use the same driver into my particular test scripts. Okay. All right. So now here, you know, right, how to write the test scripts. Okay. So we have to use the test-ng annotations here. Example, I want to use before suite or before class. And you should know the purpose of the before class and before suit, guys. You just have to spend some time and to learn on test engine concepts. Okay, public void. This is I call as a test setup. I call as a setup. All right, this is I call as a setup. And here, what is the setup? Setup is nothing but this will invoke the browser from the test base class. So how to do that? Already we extended the test base here, and whatever the methods see in this particular class, that will come to the test base. So how to do that? Where is the method? Where is my method here? Invoking method. This is my invoke browser method. All right. So, but invoke browser method is here, but can we use directly? Okay. Shall I go and optimize something else here? Okay. I have to optimize that. So you cannot directly go and utilize this invoke browser into a registration class. Registration class. You just have to optimize this code. A public void. Okay. Here, I want to just create a method called invoke. Here, see guys, when you want to invoke the browser, when you want to use this particular functions from the test base, right? Okay. Here, the individual methods have been created for that. Properties have been created. Invoking the browsers have been created. But when you're running this one, when you're running directly here, invoke browser of something Chrome here, okay. This one is look for the where is my properties you're reading. First, you have to look for the properties. You're reading the properties, so that has to be executed first, okay. But without executing that, why you're running my invoke browser? Where is my reference? Okay, so that is why you have to create another method here. I'm calling properties. Already I created here, right? Properties. This one I'm creating here. Create into the particular, okay, throw exceptions, and come down here, and here I want to use this one. Copy this guy, paste here. Here I'm getting the browser, right? Okay, so what I'll do, already create an object, prop.get property. Here also I can use the prop, right? Prop, not system.get property, prop. And here also prop. Where is the system? Here. This should come the property object only. It's not from the system. Okay. Property. And what is the key name? The key name is a browser. Key name is a browser. Browser name. All right. Browser name. It's fine. Two things. Okay. But where we are navigating the URL, we are not navigating to any URL. So we can give that driver.get of URL. But where is my URL here? Still I'm having that. So I'm going to the configuration file, because this URL will be using, this is a static one. Okay. URL is equal to, okay, so and so URL. You cannot give any kind of hard code in your framework. You have to remember that you should not give any hard code in your framework level. Okay. Save this guy, come here, and here same thing. Property.get property, double quotation, URL, same name. What is the same name? URL. Perfect. Come back here. All right. Close this guy. And after that, once you navigate to URL, I want to maximize it. Driver.manage.window.maximize it. All right. So that means, first, when you're invoking this method into your test scripts, right? The test scripts, right? You don't need to use a browser here. Okay. You're hard coding it. That is wrong practice. Come here, paste here, enter. See, you're not using any data here. Just import these, not import, just add the throw exception. Fine, fantastic. Now, if you go to this F3, okay, you will see these properties. First, initially it's reading the properties, and then after invoking the browser, okay, navigating to the demo shop URL and maximizing the browser. Okay, let's go here, and we'll add one test here. Test, okay, test org, testng.org, public void, some method. Okay, I'm not writing any code here. I'm just writing some here. Successfully launched browser. All right. So it is launching the browser, but how we are going to run this code is a question, right? We are using the testng concept, right? Testng unit testing framework. Of course, we need to use testng.xml. Now testng has come to the picture. Come here. Okay, here I want to write a code. How to write a code here? See, if you don't know how to write a code, you come to Google, okay, search for testng.xml sample. Okay, So you must know the test-ng hierarchy, how we have to use XML tags and all those things. Okay, just go to any of the website and copy the sample one. I'll modify it. All right, so where is that my XML file? Probably this is the one. I'll copy this guy. Where is that? Copy this guy. Copy it. Come back to this one. Paste here. Okay. I want to remove all the stuff that I don't want it. I'll explain you what exactly we are using it. Test fine. This also we can remove it. All right, guys. This is a test.xml. Very simple. First, the XML tag. This is XML tag. The standards for the XML document. Okay. The doc type we are using it. This is the comment only, and we are using this suite file. Okay. First, we have to use the suite tag. Okay. In the test.ng, the suite will be executed first. Okay. This we can say test.ng suite. Okay. This is the suite before suite, and then after test will run. Okay. Here I can say demo shop test, and here you have to give the class name exactly. What is the class name here? Register class, right? This is a registration class. This class name you have to provide here in the test.xml. Copy this guy, come back to the test.xml and paste here. Okay, but if you're giving the test.xml, I mean the register class here, right? But how it will recognize where it is located is the question. It is located in the form.demowebshop.testscripts.com. Testscripts. In that registration is there. Copy this path, F2, copy this guy, come here, paste here, dot. So this is the actual path. This is the actual path here for your registration class. com.demowebshop.testscripts. Under that, there is a class. Tomorrow, if you are adding one more test here, login, right? You have to add login here only. Okay, you don't need to change this one. You don't need to change this one. This is the static one. And save this guy. Fine, I save it. Can I run this test.xml? No, because you're working for the Maven project, right? Obviously, you have to run it from the form.xml. So where is this? What is the link between form.xml and test.xml? You have to link this test.xml into the form.xml, right? Go to the form.xml. I already given a link here. See here, I already given a link. If this is not there, your test.ng file will not be triggered. What is there in the test.ng? The registration. This code will not be executed. Okay, we need to place the test.ng.xml here with the proper name, and you come back to the Maven project. Okay, you come back to the Maven project. We just added only browser launching activity, right? So now you can go and run this form.xml. Now is the question here: how to run it? There are two ways to run. Okay, from this Eclipse. Okay, there are multiple ways to run the form.xml. That is fine. If you want to run this Maven project, right? Either you go and right click on this project, come to run as, and you will find there's so many options here. First, you have to go and clean this project. Maven clean. What does Maven clean does? The Maven clean is going to clean all the scrap from the project. What is the scrap? The scrap in the sense is any already created .class files, already junk files are there, right, in the project. Those will be cleared. Okay, and also it will also download the pending jar files. Okay, example, you added some dependencies here. Okay, it is not downloaded yet. So when you do the clean, right, automatically it will look for all the Maven dependencies been installed or properly or not. Okay, so when you do Maven clean, it will clean the project and it also install the Maven dependencies, whatever you get here. Now clean is done. Okay, you have to look for build is successfully done. If your build is failing, then you have to look for the error. What is the error you're getting in this console? All right. Now I have to go and run this project. How to run it? After Maven clean, right click on the Maven project, form.xml, run as a Maven install. There are two options: a Maven install and a Maven test. What does both? Both are doing the same job, but when you go with the Maven install, right? Okay, if any kind of pending jar files, okay, before running the test, those will be installed. Pending jar files, as I said before, right? Maven clean. The same way, if any pending jar files from the Maven project, that is going to install and it will execute the test scripts which you add into the test.xml. Okay, and Maven test also do the same thing. But Maven test is primary target is to run your test scripts. Okay, I'm going to run the Maven install. So Maven install is going to execute your test scripts. We'll see that. See, the pending jar files I've been downloading, right? It's downloading that. Perfect. See this, the properties are anyway, it's reading. You see the property names here. Where is the properties here? You see the properties here. No properties, nothing. There is a null pointer exception. You see this null pointer exception is coming. So here, the properties data. You see this property data is reading properly. There is no issue in that. You see this properties data is perfectly is coming. So the next job is the null pointer exception. Okay, guys, if you're facing any issues, right? Okay, that is good for you because after fixing, after doing troubleshooting of so many issues, you will learn a lot of things. Okay, we'll see that. Just click on this guy. I come here. This is the issue here. What is the issue here? Go to console again. Come here. Null pointer exception. Null pointer exception is coming. And if you have any other tags here, nothing is coming. All right. Okay. I'm thinking that this invoke one, okay, there is an issue inside that. There is an issue inside that. So what I'll do, these properties I'll put in before suite. So that means, before class, my before suite will be executed. Okay, first these properties will be executed, and then after my registration class will be executed. Okay, we'll try to do that, or else we'll see for another solution. Clean it. Still having an issue. Still having an issue. What is an issue exactly is coming here? Properties printing 2 times. Okay, that's fine. Invoking is fine. Same error, null pointer exception. No, wait. So we'll get into that. Null pointer exception. Where is that? Here is coming. Probably 1 second. Let me make it as a public also. All right. So this is the one. Let me remove this. It's not a problem. All right. So what else we have here? Anything else we're doing here? All right, we'll do one thing. After this guy, I'll try to put browser name is fine. Go to the properties and check once. Browser name is fine. Chrome. And here it will go to this one, and we'll check for this one. Win, properties.win. And then after os.name win contains fine. All right. Okay. I'll do one thing. System.properties, system.outline. I'm just thinking whether it is running fine or not. Properties fine. There is no issue in that. Anything else we need to add here?
Yeah, excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, it might be.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Yeah, the object which
Where?
the part exception. I believe the Windows.
Your voice is breaking, Rakesh.
Oh.
Your voice is breaking. Okay. Probably this design capabilities I need to create outside. Let me see that. Public. Yeah, cap. So let me make it a static. Static is not required. Okay, let me make it static.
Yeah, actually we are checking that Windows.
Control Z. Your voice is completely breaking. Okay, let me do one thing. This level I'm just removing right now. This level I'm removing right now. Probably we end up with a lot of things. All right, so come here. This is fine. Browser is equal browser doc contains. This one contains and the Chrome. All right. Let's come here and trying to look for this one. Change to access to the. All right, that's fine. No issues. Let me go and clean once again. So these are the common issues that usually get it. Oh my goodness. Still I'm having something issue here. Invoke browser. In the invoke browser, what is there here? Do one thing. Running browser name. In the invoke here, come here. Browser name. Chrome. And I'm thinking here only, probably it's end up with this something else here. Deprecated. I don't know why it's deprecated. Fine. Come here, clean. This is fine. Or else probably we need to create another kind of anything here. Nothing is not required. See browser name, it is not printing. You see that browser name is not printing. Oh, I'm sorry. Browser name here. Browser name Chrome is not printing. You see that browser name Chrome is not printing here. Browser name Chrome is not printing here. Have you seen that, guys? This is not printing, right? This is not the printing. Here browser Chrome is not printing. So browser Chrome is not printing. That means, it's not getting inside this method. It's not getting inside this method. So probably we are end up with this property.prop.get browser name. So if you want to do anything for this, obviously we're getting this kind of issues. Okay. I'll do one thing. Instead of doing this one, I'll try to give Chrome here. Browser name is called Chrome. If this is Chrome, contains Chrome, come here and execute this guy. Okay, so I'm not using any properties here right now. I mean, property file here. Probably that is error with the property file. You'll see that. Clean up. And this time should print the browser Chrome. You'll see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, fine. Right, it's running. We'll see. So these kind of issues, property related issues, you definitely get it. See, it's not printing, right? So browser Chrome is printing. So the problem is with the, which one? So it's opening the incognito mode, right? It's opening with incognito mode and should maximize the browser. Perfect. Okay. So there is an issue with the properties. Okay. We'll fix that later. We'll getting into the first job. I mean, okay, fine. So we are able to launch the browser, right? We're able to launch the browser. There is an issue with this properties. Probably it is trying to read these properties first. It's unable to read that. It is static only. There is a problem. What is the problem here? Public void. I think this should be a starting method. No. Do we think a starting method? Can we use the starting method for this? It doesn't require it. It's not required. It's not required static method for this. It's not required. All right. So okay, fine. Okay, we are able to launch the browser, okay, and we have a basic configuration, okay, not the complete configuration for the test base level. And now the actual test is started here. Here actual test is started. See, if you want to add any kind of properties or methods into the this particular registration class, right? Example, the scenario is you have to launch this website. I mean, you have to launch this website. Where is that launch website? Yeah, come here, not this one. You come here, you have to click on this registration link, and you have to add all these properties and all those things. First, you have to take the properties, right? You know, right, how to take the properties and all those things. Copy, right click on this one, inspect element. Okay. Here, this is the property. Okay. Probably you can take right click on this one, copy X path. Okay. Control F and see that. This is a long X path. This is the relative X path. So this is the absolute X path. Don't take that absolute X path. Try to take the relative X path. Okay. Just double slash star. Okay. And go to the inspect the element. And here we have different things. Class is equal to this one, right? Class is equal to this. Come here. At the rate class is equal to, I'm sorry, the class is equal to quotation. Perfect. It's recognizing. How many elements are there? Only one element. Copy this guy. Okay. Paste in notepad. Okay. Don't place somewhere else. Okay. Paste in notepad. Okay. This is for register. All right. Now I'll take the properties for all these elements. I want to click on this mail button. Copy this guy. Come here. And this the ID is there, right? Copy this guy. When you have an ID or name property, right? So don't take the XPath, guys. Okay. I don't prefer that. I don't prefer. When you have ID or XPath, you can go and use that particular locators only. We have an ID. ID is there. Perfect. Go with ID. If you don't have ID or name properties or class property, you better to go and use the XPath. Okay. ID only. All right, so I'm going to use the first last name also. What is the last name? Here is the one. All right, so last name is equal to ID. Perfect. The other one, sir, what is email address? Copy this guy and fatafa. Yes. All right, so email. This is also ID. All right, and the password. We have ID. Yes, password is ID is there. Password. This is also ID. All right, so go here and take this guy, ID. Yeah, so we have almost all IDs are there for all the elements. Click on the registration button. Click on the registration button. I think, yes, ID also is there. Copy this guy, paste here. All right, it's fine. So we covered, I mean, we collected all the UI elements for the registration screen, right? Okay, but where to place these things? So we talk about, when you talk about the different models of screens, right? Okay, in this particular web applications. So we already discussed, when you have a bunch of screens or models in your web application, better to go for page object model implementation, the design pattern, right? So how to do that? So for that page object model implementation, you go here and create a new package for that. What is the package name, sir? com.demo webshop.page. You can give any name, page library or pages or page factory. Okay, you can give anything based on your understanding purpose. Pages, I'm giving it. Okay, pages. Or else you can also give up screens also. It's not a problem. So here, instantly, I'm just creating a front. I'm creating different kind of pages here, like registration page, register page. Okay, whatever the name is there, please follow the naming convention here. Okay, the name, the same name, register, and after that you have to give the page. Finish it up. And I want to create another page also. Login page. And any other page, shopping cart page also is there. If you want to create that, you can create also that. Okay, create shopping cart page. Okay, so your class name should be ends with the page, so that we recognize that, okay, this is a page class. Finish with that. Perfect. Now when it's come here, registration page, what to write here? See, we are going to write all the page, UI element properties. This particular page UI element properties will be placed in this particular registration page. Okay, so how to do that? Very simple. So first, how to create the page? There are two different kind of concepts when you're using the page object model concept. Okay, page object model. You will see two different things. One is, one second. All right, so one is page object method, and second one is page factory. See, they are calling different concepts here. I mean, when it's come to the page factor, that the coding concept is different, guys. Okay, when you come to the page factor, the coding concept is different, and when you go with the page object method, and that is completely different. Okay, so we are going with the page object method. Okay, so look like same, not same basically. The structure will be same. That what we can say, whatever the functions or methods you're using that is different. Okay, I'm going with the page object method only. Okay, all right. So how to do that? See, first one is the registration link, right? This is a link. Okay, so for that you have to create an object for that. By, use by, and what is that name? Register link is equal by dot. What the property you have taken? XPath I have taken. XPath I have taken. Double quotation and give that XPath here. Copy this XPath. Okay, copy this XPath and paste here. Done. You're done with the registration object, registration page object. And okay, the other one, by, and what is that? Gender. This is called gender. Gender is equal by dot. This XPath you have taken ID, right? You can use ID. ID, double quotation. You can give that. This is for male, right? You can give the male. This is called a male. Male. All right, gender male. So by default, I think gender male is selected. Oh, it's not selected. Sorry. Go here. Click on this guy. Nothing is selected here. Fine. And next one is the first name. Come here. Okay, I'm just cloning this guys. Cloning. Just cloning it. Control Alt down arrow. Cloning this guys. This is the first name. First name. This is word set text box. Okay, this is a last name text box. This is a email text box. I'm going with other one. Password text box. Pass txt. Confirm pass txt. Okay, so that means this property is related to the text box property. Okay, you can go see here also radio button RDB or radio button, right? RDBN. Yeah, RDBN. Okay, now you have to provide the properties here. Paste here, first name, remove the space here. Sorry, last name. Come here, paste here. All right. Password. Confirm password. Register button. All right, this is the register button. Register BTN. Okay, it should be the different name for this link and button. Okay, you must be careful that. Okay. All right, so we just create only objects for that particular UI elements, right? Okay, what is the actual implementation to click on this link? What is the actual implementation for this entering the data in the text box? Okay, we have to write down here. Okay, so this is the actual implementation for the your one second, public void enter or else click register link. Okay, I'm creating a method because I want to perform an action on this particular UI element registration link. Okay, come here and here you write the logic. Driver dot find element. You see nothing here, but you write the code, right? Driver dot find element and the property you have to give it. Okay, so driver is not able to find here. So for that you have to create a driver object here. Driver object here. All right, driver object, I'm creating it. All right, perfect. All right, come here, driver dot find element, and already taken the property right here. Copy this guy. No need to by dot find. Okay, just come here, and what is the operation you want to click? You want to click this one. Perfect. So that means when you use this, when you implement this function, right? So that means it's going to click on this particular element. Okay, clicking on this element. Now, what is the next operation, sir? Public void click gender male. Okay, All right. So same thing, copy this guy, driver.find element, driver.find element. Okay. And where is that gender mail? Yes, here gender mail. And what is the operation you want to do, sir? Click operation. Perfect. And what is the next step? I want to enter some data into the text box. First name, public, void. Okay. Enter first name. Enter first name, right? Enter first name. Here driver dot find element first name. Where is the first name here? First name dot send keys. Okay. Here you have to enter the value. But are you going to give the value here? That means in your hard coding, I don't want to give the value. I want to pass it from the my function. That is called f name. Okay. You can give any name, no issues. Okay. It's f name. At runtime, I'm passing from the test script, not from here. Okay. Do not enter any kind of hardcode data in the page level. Do not give any hardcode data. That is very, very important, guys. Copy this guy. Come down, paste here. Can I go with the enter last name here? Last name. Let me make it as a L name here. This is called L name. Probably I have to change this guy also. Last name. Last name. And I want to enter the email also. Copy this guy. If you want to work first, enter email. Enter email. Okay. This is called email. Okay. Guys, when you're writing, when you're creating this variables, right? I mean, for the data you want to enter into the particular method, okay, a particular statement, make sure it should not be same both above created objects and this values. It should not be same. Okay. If you're doing that mistake, right, definitely it's going to fail this particular function. Okay. Like example, if I'm using email, right? Email, example, email, text I'm using it. Okay. Same thing I'm going to use here. Okay. So it is not going to recognize this particular, this one. It is going to recognize this one. Okay. Please do not use the same name. That is a very, very important. We have to follow some standards. Probably I have to change here, right? Email. All right. Perfect. Let me do it for further. All right. All right. All right. So password, right? Enter. So once after finishing this page object, this page class, I'll ask a couple of questions, guys. I mean, you have any questions you can ask. This is called password, and this is called password, and this is called confirm password. And then after, I'm gonna enter some value. I'm gonna click on the button, right? Click on the button, copy this guy, come here, paste here, click register button, register btn button. Okay, you can give like that also, no issues. Register button. All right, perfect. Click operation is done. Guys, any questions here? Please feel free to ask me. We're getting into that actual thing. Okay.
Sir, in the 47th line and 51st line, we need to change the.
Oh, yes, you're right. Perfect, perfect, man. Thanks for that. Password. Confirm password. Confirm password txt. All right, so wonderful, man. Okay, so any other thing, guys, we missed out here? I hope this is fine, right? This is fine. So we are done with the page objects for this particular screen, and also we implemented the particular page objects methods to perform an action on the page, right? So this is a page that factory that you have created. I mean, page object concept you have created for this particular registration screen. Nothing is there in the registration screen that you have to implement it. All right. Okay. So probably if you want to validate this registration label also, if you want to do that, you can do that. No issues. So probably you can go here and come here, take this one. Right click on XPath. Probably can find the good one. No, I cannot. Can I use this page title? Probably copy this guy, /* and also, guys, you should learn some customize XPath concepts here. It is very, very important how to do the customize XPath. Header one. I'm not. What is this? Oh, this fine. No shows. Div. Inside that, I can find H1, right? Yeah, perfect, perfect. Copy this guy. Come here. I'm writing one more object called as by. What is that? Register label, or else we can say header one is equal to by dot XPath double quotation this one. All right. Perfect. Guys, do remember one thing. So this is anyway, you can go and create it. But what are the other requirements that we're going to create for the particular page? Say whenever you created a new page, right? Okay. By default, you have to create two different methods that is called public string get title. This is very, very important. Every page should have a title. Return driver dot get title. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. Every page should have a title because you have to verify the title name before launching or before landing into that particular page. And also, if you want to verify that particular URL also, you can do that, no issues. Get current URL page. Perfect. Return, because I'm returning some string, right? Driver dot get current URL. Okay, you see this function. See, this function is returning string. Okay, this function is returning string. That is the reason I'm returning the string value here. Okay, you should not use any void here. Void will not return anything. You have to use the string only. Okay, get title and the get URL, current URL will returning the particular string value. Okay, get title and get current page URL. So get current URL, get title page, you have to use it for all the pages across your framework. That is a mandatory, guys. All right, perfect. I'm done with this. I'm done with this page. And what to do, sir, next? I have to come back to my page here. Okay, so here, if you want to use this particular registration page into my test scripts, you have to do, you cannot extend that because already extended with the test base. Okay, driver is coming from here. You have to create an object for that. Register any other class. Take any other class in the page object class or any other class that you have created. You have to create an object in the test scripts. Okay, you should not extend that. Okay, we cannot extend multiple classes into one class. Okay, all right. Register, and this is where is my register here? Here is my registration page. Sorry, registration page. Okay, and here you have to give the object name register page. Register page. Okay, so where you are giving the reference object for that? Here in the invoke, I'm giving register page is equal to new register page. Fine, sir. But can I go and use this registration website registration page methods into my test scripts? Let me try with that. No issues. We'll get an error. I want you to find it. Okay. All right. So here I'm calling the registration page dot. First, what I have to do, sir? What is my scenario? I want to click on a link, sir. What is the link, sir? Registration link, right? Click on register link. Register link. This is for click on register link. Click on register link. And what next, sir? Next one is click on mail radio button. Mail radio button. What is that? Register page dot click gender, right? Click gender mail. All right. And this is what the page object model concept. And then enter first name, sir. Enter first name. Register page dot enter first name. Enter first name. Okay. Here I'm giving statically right now. I will be implementing the data provider later, where we have to call data from the Excel file that we do later. Okay. First name I'm giving statically here, Ramesh. Okay. Register page. Sorry. Last name. Register page dot last name. Hurikala. Yes, any questions so far? Please feel free to ask me. Email. Anything. All right. So password. And register page dot password. Where is the password here? Password test 1 2 3, and your password and confirm password both should be same, right? Okay, both should be same here. And this is for confirm password. I want you to find out the issue. You guys have to think about it. You will get an issue when you run the script. You're missing something. I'm expecting you to find that. So click on register link, register button. I'm sorry, register button, right? Register button. So register button, click on register button. Perfect. So I'm done with this. I'm done with the test. Can I go and run it? Okay, so it's going to click on the first, this particular link, okay, and it will open this particular page, okay. And if you want to verify the title, right, something like that, okay, if you want to verify the URL title, okay, you can use this one, okay. First, okay, anyway, we have written the method, right? We have written the method. Where is that? String, okay, string title is equal to, okay, what is the title you are giving here? Registration page dot get title. Okay, title will come here, store here. Okay, and we need to use the assertion, right? Asset dot asset equals asset equals. Okay, where is the string here, sir? Where is the string? We look for the string only. Here is the string. Okay, here what is the actual here? Actually is coming from the site, the running website. And what you're expecting, sir? I'm expecting the title from the browser. There you go here. Right click on the website, view page source. Here you will find the title, right? Copy this guy, or else you can see, you can focus on this one. Focus here. You see that title name, demo space webshop dot register. Paste that also. Anyone you can take it. If you want the proper name, you can come here and can take it. Perfect. All right. Okay. So fine. Accepting the title. That's great. And then after entering the data, clicking on the button, enter this one, first name, last name, and this one. Fine, no issues. Now we are going to run this file. We'll see that. Before that, we have to check this class is placed in the testing.xml or not. Copy this class, testing.xml, register is there, and we have to check the testing.xml in the form.xml is there. Now save all the files here. Right click on this one, form, run as Maven clean. Still you didn't find issue. Right click on this one, Maven install. Will that gonna work? Will that page class gonna work in my test scripts? We'll see the error message first. What kind of error message we can get? Maximizing the browser. Is it clicking on the register link? No, right? It's not clicking the register link. So you see that build is failure. Build is failure. We'll see that. Null pointer exception. We'll go to the registration. You see this? In the beginning only it is failing. You see this? In the beginning only it is failing. Why? Because right now the registration and our test script are independently created. You go here. It is not recognizing this registration driver object. Registration driver object. So we are not, I mean, that means, whatever the driver is coming from the test base, right? Okay, it is not equal to this particular registration driver object. So that is the reason we have to get into this class, registration class. We have to create a constructor for the registration class. Every page class should have the constructor. You see this constructor here, constructor. And here we have to create a driver object here, driver, and driver. Okay, and here you have to use this dot driver is equal to driver. So this driver is indicated to this driver, and this driver is indicated to this one. Okay, when it's come to the test drive test script, right? Here it is asking for, what is this? I'm sorry. Implement, yeah, implement it. All right, so there is some issue. We'll fix that, no issues. And here it's come to, oh, what is this, man? Okay, let me fix this guy. Common issues. That's a common issues. All right, you see this here, it is asking for the driver here, driver. See, now this registration page is having a driver. If you go on the F3, right, it will directly navigate to test base. You see this test base. That means, at runtime, it invoked the test base driver, because the driver is from here only. The driver is driving from here only. So that is the reason we have to create a constructor for each and every page class. Now we go and run here. So now there is a link between your test scripts and page and test base. So browser is launching. See, data is entering. Perfect. Done. My test script's getting passed. You find the issue, right? That is the problem. Okay. Build is passed and test run, failure 0, error 0, skip to 0. Right? This is the one. Fine. Now I want to see the report, sir. Where is my report? See, basically, when you're using the TestNG as a unit testing framework for your project, right? Okay. TestNG inbuilt, okay. TestNG itself is giving one kind of report. Okay. If you go to the refresh the project, and go to the target folder. Maven Surefire plugins. I think basically should come the test output folder here. It's not coming here. Go to the Surefire report, and there is an emailable report. Right click on this one. So this is the one. This is the one TestNG suite. Okay, that is coming here. Pass. If it is failing, then it will give the fail in red color. It should be in it will be in a red color. Okay, that particular function or that particular class or method, it will show in a red color. Okay, how much time it is there, where at what time started and what is the time? 4000 milliseconds. That means 4 seconds. Okay, it is completed in the 4 seconds only. Okay, not more than that. So in 4 seconds we completed one script. Okay, so total time for the launching the browser, navigating to URL, verifying all the elements and filling the data into the registration screen, submitting the data. So all the thing it will take, it has taken 15,983 milliseconds. That means 15 seconds. 15,983 by 1000. Okay, 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second, right? You guys know that. Perfect. Okay, we have a basic things is ready right now, but we are worried about the report. I don't want this kind of report here. Customer doesn't like it. Okay, I want to implement that extend report. So when it's come to the extend report, right? Obviously, you have to depend on other third-party kind of tools or softwares. So we thought that we have to implement this extend report as a reporting tool, right? So we'll go implement that report. So if you want to implement that extend report into your framework, okay, probably should have that kind of jar files. Okay, go to the POM. Go to the POM here. Check for the extend report is there here. Extend report is there here. Okay. Okay. So I think 1 second. Let me use the old one because I have to go the relevant codes. And here I want to use extend reports. Fine. And the this one is a 2.4.1.2. I'm sorry. What is that control jet? But 2.41.2. So right now is a 4 version, but we are using 2 versions. These methods are different, and the latest one is a different one. 1 second. This is what is the problem? Relevant is this one. Relevant codes. Perfect. What is this? Relevant code. Relevant codes. I'm sorry. This is C is a small letter, I think. Extend reports. Should work now, I think. Okay, why it is not working? The reason is, let me comment this guy. Let me comment it. Okay, let me comment it. Okay, when you're changing the version of the particular jar file or dependency in your particular format XML, right? So what you have to do, you have to go to the C drive first. Okay, go to the C drive, and here you have a folder called as user folder. Okay, and here then with your name there is a folder. I mean system name. My system name is alpha, and you will find a 1.m2 folder here. Okay, inside that there is a repository. See, this repository is whatever the jar files have been downloaded as part of this particular project, right? The Maven dependent jar files. All these have been downloaded in this particular folder. Just remove all those things, because when you're changing the version, right, you have to remove all these things, because there will be a compatibility issue with your different versions. Compatibility issue will come. Okay, previously the latest version has been installed. Now you're trying to use old versions. So in that case, definitely look for there is a compatibility issue inside that. So I want to delete this guy. Okay, fine. Now I want to uncomment this guy. I'm saving it. Probably it has to be installed now. Okay, it's look for the jar files, no shows. It's downloading anyway. This would take some time. Sure. I think it's, yeah, meanwhile, if you have any questions, guys, you can ask, no issues. Okay, any questions? Any questions related to the framework that we have been designing? Anyway, it's getting late. That's not a problem. We can spend another 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Yeah, one question from my side.
Yeah.
During editors, some letters are reflecting in the blue color, some letters are reflecting in the red color. What is the main difference?
Where you see that? Where you see that in this? You're talking about format XML?
Code. No, not XML file.
Here.
In class file. Yeah, in class files.
In class files, right? Here is the one. So these means, we just now deleted all the dependencies, right? Okay. So it is looking for the particular imports of the particular jar files. Okay. So once all these have been downloaded, so then this error will go on. This errors will go on. So this problem, they don't have, it doesn't have the particular jar files in your project. That is the reason I'm giving an error. Okay. Why? Because I'm just re-downloading that. I'm re-downloading all the jar files. So once
this is running first time.
Okay. So when you delete the jar files from the particular .m2 repository folder, right? So it will look for where is my dependency? Like, we have imported from something here, right? This open queue and those things. Okay. It doesn't have the project doesn't have the jar files. So it is downloading. Once it is downloaded, then this error will go on. All right. I don't know why it is taking this much time. Should not take it. I should connect it to some LAN. Otherwise, this is on Wi-Fi. I think it's almost done. 100% done. I think I have to go back to this thing. Probably, yeah. We make sure that there should not be any errors in our project with this errors. There should not be any errors. So then only we can start with other stuff. Guys, let me know if I'm too fast, okay? Because our time is very less, right? So we have a limited time. Yeah, guys, you see there are no issues in this framework, right? Now, okay.
And
yep.
Yeah, what is the duration for this? What is the plan of agenda for this one?
The agenda of this one, actually, we wanted to finish in 2 hours, okay? But initially we spend most of the time on these basic things, right? The setuping the softwares and all those things, okay? If we directly start with this framework, we can finish in 2 hours, okay? So probably it will take another 40 minutes, okay? All right. So I want to print I want to generate the extent report. So how to do that? Where I have to create an object for that? Okay. So the first thing is, this is the test base, right? Where your driver is calling from here. So for that, you need to create a static block for the extent report. Why static block? Do you have any ideas for the static block for a particular class? Oh, here I want to create a static block. Okay. Example in the beginning. Okay. In the beginning, I want to create a static block here. Okay. Example here, static. Here I want to create a static block. Why? Any idea, guys? Any idea? Because at runtime,
it will retail.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. No use.
Yeah, it will retain your stuff actually. Like whenever you mention something under the static, it will retain its own capability.
That is partially answered. Let me answer to that. Static blocks, why you are creating the static blocks? We mostly don't do the static blocks when you're working, when you're working daily activities, right? For example, you're creating test scripts. Okay, probably there won't be a chance to create a static block in your test scripts. Okay, you always use public void and private void or something like that. You create a method and you create the logic and you finish with the test. That is what you're doing it. But when you're creating the static, right, the static block will call first before calling any method in the particular test. Okay, before call, example, I'm running from the formatted XML, right? First and foremost thing, the static block will call. What is there in my static block? I want to run that first. Then only I can go and run with other stuff, invoke method or some other methods. Okay, it won't run if you, even though if you give this invoke method as the first priority in your test scripts, right? Okay, it won't run this invoke first. It will run the static block first. It will run the static block, and then only it will run the remaining methods. Even if you give the priority also, it will run only static block first. But what do you want to give in the static blocks? Very simple. Before running my project or before running my test scripts, I want to load with my report. I want to load with my report capabilities. What kind of report, sir? See, I already started with an extent report, right? Extent report. We'll be creating an extent report object here, extent reports. And here I'm giving object called as extent. Okay, there is one more thing called as extent test. Extent test. Extent test. This is I can give as a test object. There are two different objects for that, right? So I'm giving you the public. Anyway, I have given the above is the static, right? Static above. The same thing I'm giving this one. Basically, should not use all as a public static. Okay, in your framework level, you should make it as a protected as a this driver, because nobody should go and override that. Okay, if you're giving public static, right, anybody can override it. And here, what I want to write it here. I want to write the extent report where I want to regenerate the extent report. Okay, extent is equal to okay, new extent report. Here you will find the path here. You see that path, extent report path. Where you want to use that path, sir? Can I use the GEES test report? Can I use this one? Copy this path. Copy this guy. Do one thing here. This path is not required. Complete path is not required because we are going to use the system directory path. Copy this guy. Come here and paste here. Okay. But where is the system directory path? System directory path means this one. System dot. What is that? Get property. Get property. And here you have to give user dot directory. Okay, then you have to give the path here, sir. You need the path here. Or I'm getting errors here. Okay, fine. No issues. We will still have this thing. Okay, fine. You're giving the path here, right? Extent is equal to new directory. And okay, I'm sorry. This is have to close at the end. This one is fine. Here the bracket, and this bracket is closing at the end. Fine. Report here. Okay, fine. The report is going to generate here, but what kind of format you want to generate, sir? You want to generate as a XML format? You want to generate as a HTML format? Okay, that file you have to give here, place double quotation .html file. Okay, but what is the name of the file? You want to give some name, right? Basically, what we are doing in our real practices in our company, right? We are giving some date with the time. So every time when you're running the script, right, it will create a .html file with a particular date and time. Example, I'm running at 11/16, 7/5/2020, 11/16. So when you run the code, it will generate the report as report 7/5/2020 and 11/16. When you run second time, it will execute 11/17, 11/18. So that you can go here and you can check, what is the latest report with my day, with my time. Okay. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm creating object called as calendar object to print a date object. Okay. To print a date object, create a calendar dot get instance. All right. This is an object for that. Okay. So this object, I want to create a date format, right? What is the date format? Simple date format. Okay. And this is called formatter is equal to new simple date formatter. Okay. And the pattern you want to do that. What kind of pattern do I want to do that? I want to pattern called date underscore month underscore year underscore hours underscore minutes underscore seconds. Why I'm giving seconds? Say example, if you're running back to back in the same minute, right? Probably it's going to override with the existing report. So that you don't have a track of previous report, right? So to track up previous report, I'm giving with the seconds also. Seconds will anyway change, right? Seconds will always change. So here in the report, I want to add that. So how to add that, sir? Here, come here, system directory, okay, and this is the path here, and here I want to add that. I want to add formatted dot format of that particular date. What is the date, sir? Calendar update. Where is the calendar update? Dot get time. I'm sorry, get time. Get time. Sorry, I want to close this guy here. Yes. Okay, and after that, place. I'm sorry, inside the place, after the place. Yes, place. Okay. So here till here, test report, right? And first you will come with the date. Okay, date dot html. This date dot html. Shall we give some name here? Shall we give some name here? Example, I'm giving something called as report. Some name here, fine. And can we? Okay, so there is one more object here. We get as a false. Extend report, and I have a boolean. You see this replacing existing one. Why I'm giving the boolean false? Replacing existing one. You want to replace that existing one? If it is a true, it will replace. If it is false, it will not replace. It will create another report. Okay, you have a previous version of tracking. All right, I'm loading my extend report at the time of running my test scripts at runtime. Now I can use that. How to use that, sir? How to use these objects? Now come back to a test scripts. The test scripts. Where is that test scripts? So, extend report object created in the test base, right? The test base is already imported to, extended to my test scripts. Here I can create an object here. Okay. Here, if you want to create an object to the or particular test scripts, right? You can go and do that, like test dot. Okay, sorry, test is equal to extend dot. Okay, extend dot start test. Double quotation. And here you can use what else you can use? You can use something else, some tc01 underscore. This is called verify register, verify demo web shop register. Okay, proper name with the valid data. Okay, and the same name I'm giving it, not a problem for understanding, for reporting purpose. Data. All right, so this is creating a label in the report. Only label, no particular thing that I have been created. Only label is creating it. But if you want to create a log in the report, what you have to do? You come here, test dot, okay, log, okay, log status dot pass, okay, and here you have to give it whatever the logs here. Okay, here click on register links here. Okay, this is printing the logs here. Okay, all right. Now come here, and what is the next step? This is printing the title here. Get the title set. Place you can give probably this one. You can give here. Cut this guy and paste here. Copy this one and paste here. Title. Okay. Get the title. Or else the title is. All right. Now next one, sir. Copy this guy. Okay. For the same time saving, come here, paste here. This is the one to click on. Okay. Click on gender male. All right. Now next one, sir. Copy this one and here. Okay. Paste here, and this one entering the data. Right. Enter data. Else enter first name. Right. Enter first name. Eyes. Okay. We should not give the static data here because it's going to be changed. So what I'll do, for simultaneously I'll be creating data provider so that you can understand clearly, right? Here, whatever the data is required to a test method, you'll be creating different kind of variables in the particular method. Here, what I required title. That I to capture from the Excel sheet. Probably that's going to take time. I'll do one thing. That's going to take time. Ramesh. All right. Copy this guy. First, we'll see the report and we'll go and implement that. It won't take much time. Last name, Kodikala, and copy the same stuff. You want to see there the look of Hexen report. Email. Copy this guy. Okay. So this is the static data we are giving it. Okay, this is hard-coded value. We should not give this. This is not a best practice that you have to do. Okay. All right. Next one, password. Password. The password is test123. Copy this guy. Paste here. And this is for confirm password. Same thing. And the other one, the register button. Click on the register button. Click on register button. Perfect. Okay. Now let me go and run this guy and check the report first. Right click on this one. Clean it. Run as Maven install or Maven test. Anyone is fine. I think I probably should change one second. Stop it. I'm just going to stop it because already the email ID has been registered, right? So let me change the email ID here. I'm giving something else here. All right. So we are getting some errors here, right? So just have to change this JDK. This is the common issue which we get every time. All right. So let me go and save this guy and clean it. Every time you have to clean it, guys, because the previous dependence and previous compiled classes, everything will be placed in the project. So those I'm cleaning it before running for the next fresh run. Oh, there's a lot of dependencies here, pending dependencies. Right, my test is running here. Perfect, it is running. All right, wonderful. Okay, we forgot to automate this logout also, but that's fine, no issues. And our primary thing is to generate the report, right? Okay, I know this report will not generate. Okay, we made a mistake. If you go to the test report, right, there is no report here because we are creating an object for that and we are writing the logs, but finally we are not pushing it. We are not pushing it. So what you have to do at the end of the test script, okay, we have to do after class. Anyway, we implemented the before class right here, before class, and after class, after executing the class, what I'm trying to do is publish public void close browser. Okay, here I'm writing, okay, whatever the report you're doing, that extent report extent dot flush it. You have to flush it, otherwise you will not push the report into a particular HTML file. You will not push it. You're not pushing it, so you have to push it. And after that you have to end it, end test. Okay, so my test is ended. After that, if you want to write any logs, right, it won't print. Okay, once you end the test, it won't print any logs. Then I want to close the browser also. Driver.close. Okay, if you have multiple browser instances, you can use driver.quit. Okay, but don't use the driver.quit. Driver.close is enough right now. But if you want to use the driver.quit, right, you have to use only one, either close or quit. Don't use both at a time. Okay, don't use both at a time. Now I'm going to create this guy. Clean this guy. Install it.
I think you used the same email ID one more time.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. So we should give the random email ID. Okay. So better to write a code for the random email ID so that next time you don't need to change it, right? You don't need to change that next time. So that kind of email ID you have to create. In real time, you have to create a random email. Random email is a mandatory. You have to create a random email function in the test base, and that you have to call in your test scripts. Okay, not test scripts, in the page level. In the page level, you have to call that. Not this one. So at runtime, it will create some test. Then after you have to give it some number, random number. Okay. so that there is no confusion.
So for that, we can use something called faker class.
It's not faker class. You can use the random class, is right? You can use that some random object is
Random
called your
function.
random function.
Okay.
Yes, that you can use that.
Okay.
All right, done. So probably you can go and see that. You see that still not yet done. Perfect. All right, let me go and refresh this guy. Refresh it. I do not see the test report here. Probably it's gone somewhere else. Config, no. Where I can see that report here. Where is the report here? This path, test report. It should come to the report folder only. It's not going there. Any other things we are missing here? Guys, check once.
Do we need to refresh?
I already refresh it.
Okay.
I already refreshed it, but it's not coming here. Target folder, no way. Did you do any mistake here? Path is fine. User directory is fine. Test report. User directory plus test report are okay. Probably I should use slash here. Some slash. All right. Should use a slash here. I think this is not able to find in this report, right? Folder is not able to find it. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll remove this guy. This guy. I think this is the one. I think slash it. Okay, because it's a folder path, right? Okay, it's a folder path that is looking out for after the directory. Okay, let me go and run it once. Before that, let me change it. Let me do one thing, man. Go to the test page. Go to the test page. Here, I want to create a method called as public void random email. Okay, random email. I'm going to create it. We have a random function, right? Random or indeed run is equal new random function. All right. Inter length is equal to rand dot. Do we have a size here, right? And your size next? No. Can we have a size here? How do we do that? Forgot it. 1 second. Random number. Random number is enough. Random number is enough. Random number. Generator using Java. Come here. Okay, so this is the one. I'm sorry. We have this, right? So random dot current dot next int, next double. What is that? Probably this is enough. This is enough. The range is enough. Range is enough. All right. Sorry. Copy this guy. I'm sorry. Okay. So internum is equal to, okay, and the rand dot, what is that? Next int of the bound. Okay. So what is the range you want to give it? I want to give a 3-digit number, 3-digit random number. And here, what you do? Here, this is the string email. Okay, email. And then I want to return some string here. Okay, like return, not return here. 1 second. Let me write it here. Email plus and your number. Okay, number. All right, plus double quotation @ plus double quotation gmail.com. Okay, gmail.com. So this I want to give in the string variable, string email text is equal to fine. I'll do one thing. I want to make it this also a test. Okay, so that I can give email this one. All right, and this one is going to return string. Return string. Here, come here, return email. Is this fine, guys? I can remove this guy, right? So here, what I'm doing, I'm creating a number here. Okay, every time it will create a 3 different digit number. It's a 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3, 2 3 4, like that. So it will be different. test123@gmail.com. Okay, you just copy this guy and go to the registration, not registration, your page. Your page, where is your page, sir? Email. Here is my page. Okay, you come here. Probably I need to create an object for that. Test base. I have to create an object. Test base, tbase, because it is there in the test base, right? Come here. Where is my this one? Email. Here is my email. Sorry, email. Yes. Example tbase dot random email. Why I'm giving this guy? This is not required, right? This is not required, I think. Come back here. Probably it is not required, this one, because if you're giving here again, you have to give the email over there. So string, this is enough. All right, come back to here. Probably it's not required. And whatever is there here, and put it in the string email is equal, or else email is equal, this email is equal to this email, and copy this email in the here. Perfect. Now you come back to the registration page. Probably you no need to give email here. Here again we are doing mistake. Send keys. Oh, I don't think it is required, buddy. I don't think it's required. Because you're giving random email, right? Come back to this one. You don't need to give it. Perfect. Any confusion here, guys? No, right? Simple. I'm just creating the random email and putting into this one new variable and calling this into the my test method, test statement. Okay. Right click on this guy, call this guy. Okay. I have to run this guy. We change everything, right? Test base extend report on all those things. Probably it doesn't require. Why it is getting failed, guys? Something went wrong? Oh, email is getting failed. Null pointer exception. Okay, probably it is coming from the this one, right? Test base, right? Probably it is that issue. I'm going to use tbase directly. Test base. Instead of using that, it should be static. Oh, I'm sorry. If you go to the test base here, probably this should be static here. Static. Now you don't have issue here. I have to remove this object because the driver will be overridden, right? The driver will be overridden in the registration page as well as test base. So that is the reason I'm just using directly. Right click on this guy, run as Maven clean, Maven test. I think this framework implementation session would definitely take 5 hours, minimum 5 hours, it seems to be. So setting up everything, we're not even completed off. I'll see that. You see that 976. Perfect. Hey, we got a report, man. You see that second report also is coming, 36. Right click on this guy, open with web browser. If you want to open this beautiful report, you can in the browser, copy this guy and open in the browser so that it has a good look. See, these are the steps that we have. You see, this is a label. This is the label of your test class. Okay, your class. Okay, you go here. This is my registration class. You see this? This is the one. Okay. Every function you are creating a new label here, left side. Okay, left side. Example, you have different scenarios, guys. Okay, verify registration with the valid data, invalid data. Okay, some other data. All the details labels will be placed here, and right side is the logs. Click on the register link. Title demo web shop register is printed fine. Click on the register gender mail, first name is Ramesh, Kudikala, an email, password, confirm password, register button. If any of the step is failed right here, any of the step is failed here, it will show in the red color. It shows in the red color. Okay. So actually, what is the limitation? What is the what will get the more benefits from the extent report? So you can also capture this screenshot and embed it into the test strip, this particular report. You can also embed that report. I mean, not report, screenshot of failure. Okay, so that is another level. Okay, that is completely included in the listeners concepts. That is a big concept, listeners. Probably we can have another demo for that. Okay, so if you want to embed that particular screenshot at the time of failure in this particular report, right? Okay, you have to use a listeners concept. There you have to embed your screenshot. Okay, as when the test is failure. So this is a basic, extent report that you can do that, and you can also modify whatever you want to do it. I mean, example, left side I want to do it for actual value, right side I want to do it for expected value. You can customize your own. Okay, but you have to write the logic here inside here. Logic here. You have to write the logic at the test-based level or your registration level. Okay, so this is what I'm telling the basic one, guys. Basic one. So basically, we can also customize this particular. Where is the page? Customize this also. You can also customize this one. Okay. Every time you're writing driver.find element, right? This is not the best practice. This is not the best practice. But what is the best practice here? Very simple. Go to the test base. Okay. Here, what you have to do? Just give me a second. So we are going to reusable method here, public void in the test base, public void. Okay. See, look up there. First, what kind of operations you do in the application. Basically, click on the buttons. It can be radio button, link, or normal button, or checkbox. Okay. So for that, we are writing logic called click method. Click method. The click method, common method we are using everywhere. So no way to use only driver.find element. Okay, we are writing only one place, driver.find element. Okay, so this method we are going to use everywhere in the PH classes. So how to implement that? Very simple one, guys. So here in the click method, what you have to do, we have to call different objects, WebDriver, driver. Okay, and we also use the locator. What kind of locator? By element locator. And what is the value you want to do it? So any value you have to give it. You're not entering any value, right? I'm not entering any value. So that is the reason I'm only go with this, guys. So here you have to create a web element here. Web element is equal driver dot find element. You will see only here driver dot find element. Here I'm using element locator. This element locator will be giving at the page level. Don't worry about that. Copy this guy. I'm customizing this. Okay. Instead of writing the lengthy of code into this one, driver.find element, this is not best one. I want to do it more, interesting way. So how to do that, sir? If I'm just using if condition, ELE dot, okay. If that element is displayed, sir, if that element is displayed, please go and click on that. Then after, I want to print a log, sir. Here I'm printing the log. I don't want to print the log into my test scripts. This is the clumsy, right? Writing the logs for each and every step is not good practice. It's not good practice. Don't give that kind of things, okay? I want to customize it. Come back here, just wait. Here, log status dot pass, okay? Here I want to give something else here. What do you want to give, sir? Here, to verify user able to click on so and so elements are. What elements are? The element name you have to provide here, sir. Okay, let's example, it is a registration link that you have to provide here. Name. Okay, I'm just giving a name, sir. I'm just giving a name here. Name, comma. Okay, and you can also use okay, click on element, right? Okay, comma, and then name. Okay, name. Then here, double quotation, clicked successfully. fully. Okay, so by this way, the report also is going to change, guys. See, there are two things. First, left side is going to create to verify the user able to click on a register link. Register link, click successfully. Okay, in this report, you will see different manner. What is that reporting? Where is my report here? See, here it is coming only one line, right? You will see two different lines over there. First, actual, then after expected. Okay, you come here and putting the logs here, and then after, okay, guys, don't forget to mention that try catch back for this because you have to see the proper exception for the particular click and enter text operations. Where is this guy? Yeah, let's copy this guy. Fantastic. Now come here. Here, test.log, and here log status dot fail, sir. It's not a pass because catch block always fail, right? Catch block always fail. So to verify, guys, am I boring you? It's not right. Name verify. To verify, registration link is visible or clickable in provided time. So basically, if it is not visible in provided time, so it's going to throw an exception saying that your element is not visible. An exception occurred. Waiting for element. Okay, plus name. Which element? Name. Register name example. Okay. To click. Okay. This is another kind of configuration, guys. Now you come back to this registration page, sir. Registration page. Where is the click operation here? Here is a click operation, right? Here is a click operation. You see this? Okay. Click operation. Click. See, click you are not getting here. Why? Because it is there in the test base. Test base dot click. Where is the click? Click is not here. So you have to make it as a static. That is the reason. Your driver is the static one. That is the reason it's coming, not coming. You see this kick is coming, right? Kick is coming. Now here, driver. Okay, driver. Which driver? Registration page dot driver. Or else you can give driver here. No, it's not a problem. Driver. Now what is the element locator, sir? Element locator is there, right? This is the one. So this is the one. Registration link. Copy this guy. Come here. Paste here. What is the name, sir? Again, here is a new structure is coming. This is called a new implementation. Okay, name of the each element. Name of each element. So for that you have to give only string, sir. String register link is equal to here register link. This is another new concept. Okay, so each and every element name you have to give it. So there is something duplicate is there. Okay, here you have to name call. There is something called a name. Okay, you can give this standard name. Okay, a name is nothing but some name. You can give anything, but it should be standard. Okay, if you're giving another name, right? Example string. What is this? Gender, right? Gender, male. A name is equal to male. Okay, so come down here. Here, register a name. All right. And remove the second element. Now you will not see any driver.find element, sir. Now you will not see any driver.find element. Okay. Now you come back to the other one and check. You have to change everything. Otherwise, you cannot run the single one. Okay. This is also click, right? This is also click. Copy this guy. Remove this one. Enter. And here you have to enter the register. Register link. Oh, not sorry. Gender, right? Gender. Gender male button, and here you have to give the gender male name. This is the property of the element. This is the name of the element. Okay, why are you doing all these things? This is for only reporting purpose. Okay, reporting purpose, and also we are eliminating this driver.find element everywhere, right? It's not looks good. So that is the reason I'm eliminating this one. Test base dot. This is enter, right? So again we have to create a reusable methods here. Public void, okay, public static void, okay, enter text is a common for the entering the value into the text box. Enter text, Okay, see here what is there? What kind of elements here? Driver is there, locator is there, name is there, but one more thing is there, that is called value. Value that you have to enter into the text box or edit box. Same thing is there. Okay, you can also copy the same thing, guys. Copy the same thing. Okay, paste here. But before that, you have to create a try catch block, right? Come here, try catch block, paste here. Okay, enter. All right. If it is displayed, sir, if it is displayed, what else we have to do, sir? Anything we are missing here? What is this? This one is this one. Fine. Okay. This one is coming the bottom. All right. What is this? Okay, fine. Then element dot. First, we have to clear the data in the text box. Whatever, if previously having any data, then we have to clear it. Then we have to send keys, sir. Send keys of which one, sir? Value at runtime. All right. Then after entering the value, sir, we have to print the logs, right? Test.logs, same thing. Log status. Then here, you have to enter to verify user able to enter value in, okay, in plus name. In name, what is the name? First name example, comma, okay, and here I can say name plus entered successfully. Okay, so what is in the try catch? Failure only. Here we have to change it. Come here, failure only we have to give it to. This is called clickable, right? This is called enter, visible or enter in provided time, and in a record with waiting for the element, and to enter value, to enter first name, enter. All right, come back here. So the same one you can use everywhere, wherever you want to use in the registration page. Here, test base dot enter text. Driver is same. Element locator is a first name, right? First name already we have created. And what is the value, sir? Value that is coming from in the method. Okay. What is the name, sir? We haven't created any name here. Create a name here. Okay. I'm creating the name here. Okay. This is called first name nm. Okay. Last name nm. Okay. So that is standard. Okay. Email nm, and this is called password nm, pass nm, and this is called confirm pass nm, Okay. You have to give the proper names here. Here, first name of the element. Okay. Name of the element. Don't get confused. It's the name of the element only. So whatever is there in the website, right? Click on this guy, and whatever the label here, right? This is one. Okay. This one you can give it proper name. Like this, you can give it. And this is the one. And here, gender male. And email. Sorry. Okay. And password. And this is called confirm password. Perfect. Now come back to this old this one, and here first name, right? First name nm, name of the element. Now copy the element, all the things, and come back to this one, last name, paste here. Here last name txt, and here this value that we are entering runtime, and the name of the element. I'm going a bit fast. If you are any confusion, just let me know. Probably this also I have to change it. This one is email text, and this one is email here, value here, and here is the email name of the element. Okay, and here also copy this guy. Sorry, copy this one, and here yeah, password, right? Password txt, element property name, password value, and here password name. Copy this guy, come here, replace this guy, and here is a confirm password text, and confirm password value, runtime it will enter, and here is a confirm password name of the element. Perfect. Now we end up with this last one, testbase dot click, right? We have to click on the register button. Now come here, second element is a register button, and the name of the button is a register button name. Register button name is not there. Perfect. And come here. Yes, it's not there. And here is a button, register btn a name. And here register button. All right. So come down here. NM. Perfect. We're done with this stuff. Now come back to your test scripts, right? You come back to test scripts and you have to remove this, all the logs. It's not required. All the logs. Remove this guy. See, if you are keeping all these logs, right, it's clumsy. Reading the code also is difficult. Okay? Reading the code also is difficult. And also you can, if you want to remove this stuff also, you can remove this stuff. It's not required. So, okay. Now the code looks good. All right, so this also should be removed. See, your code is simple one right now. Right? Guys, any questions here? Now, shall I go and run this guy? Run as Maven clean. Run as a Maven install. I should wind up in next 10 minutes like that. Probably if you have any questions, you can ask. I wanted to cover this BD also, but it is not possible. Actually, we didn't cover the listeners. That is a very, very important. You should enter the random email address, right? We'll see that. Earlier it was taken 967. Now this time I should take something else. 8 what? Okay, fine. Let's come back here. Perfect. Now report is generated. You see this 11:54. Now time is 11:54. Come back to the 11:54. Open with web browser. You see this, guys? This is the beauty of the report, man. See, earlier this is a report, and now this is a report. You see this? See, this is the actual one. This is the expected one. If expected one is failed, right? So that step is failed, and it will show in the red color, and it will give a screenshot of the particular element. Okay. So here we are doing some mistake here. Okay, fine. To verify the user able to click on register link. Okay, register link is clicked successfully. And to verify the user able to enter the gender, it's not click on. Yeah, click on the gender mail. Gender mail click successfully. Verify user able to enter the first name. Okay, first name enter successfully. But what is the first name? First name is not coming, right? Okay, so this value is not coming here. So for that you have to go back here. First name. How we are entering the first name here? The first name. First name. The first name. We should print the first name. I'm sorry. I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake. This is a value actually. This is the value. It's not a first name. It's a value. It's a value only. Now let me go and run it once. Because we should see the data, which data is entered in that application. Guys, any questions so far? Please ask me that. I'm expecting to have. Yeah, I think, yeah. But unfortunately, we didn't face many issues. Okay, we should face issues. Okay, we need to troubleshoot the issues first. Okay, then only we learn a lot of stuff, while implementing the framework. All right, it's entering something else here. Perfect. Okay, this already, it is what? Why it is already existing? Oh, fine, that's fine, no issues. That's fine, no issues. I'm just opening these report. Copy this guy. Open the browser. You see this value is entered. Ramesh is entered successfully. Kudikala test email ID enters is successfully. Password is entered successfully. You see this? Registration button clicked successfully. Okay. If you want to give the space here, you can give it no issues. But this is a way to implement the new kind of report, guys. Okay. And also we have to optimize the code, right? We optimize the code a lot. We optimize the code at the class level, test scripts level. We optimize the code at the page level also. At the page level also. I got it right? Any questions, right? Guys. We can wind up because it's almost 12. I didn't have in my dinner also. Probably you also. Any questions, guys? Anyone? You can ask any questions. No, it's not no. Particularly this one. So we need to implement a lot in this framework. Like listeners, we have to implement it, and a few more reusable methods. And wait are very important. Waits in Selenium. Listeners, waits, and reusable methods. And one more thing called this one, Cucumber. These 4 concepts are pending basically. Probably I'll try to cover in the next session. If you have live another live in the next week. Guys, you can ask me questions, no issues. It's not official one.
So what's the plan for the next session?
I'll try to find out the good time for this. I mean, the continue with the next session. Probably you have an idea, right? So you have an idea how to create enough framework, how to start with that. Just have an idea, right? How we are doing that.
So we would like to replicate whatever you taught today. We would like to replicate, and if we have any questions, we will come back to you.
Yes, if we can practice the same stuff, okay, and set up the same kind of framework information, right? Probably it's going to be helpful for the next session. Okay.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so that will give the boost for your next session.
Yes,
Rajesh and Brahma is there. Brahma is there. Rajesh and Bintu, Pankaj,
Yes.
Srinivas, you joined. Srinivas is joined. I think he is sleeping.
Will you upload the recording in Google Drive, something like Google Link something?
I will upload and I'll share across you all team.
Yeah, thank you.
I
So that
actually
if we miss
I want to do
something,
it. Yeah, I want to do it in the live. I mean, YouTube only, so that everybody can access, right? So there's a problem with that account. So probably we'll have a next session in the live only, YouTube live only. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to do these live sessions. Going forward, you'll have bunch of live sessions on different kind of tools. Yeah. Okay. Especially, and I want to focus on the framework level. Okay. Next time, once you finish this Selenium concept, right? Selenium Java framework stuff, right? Okay, with fully loaded all the stuff. Okay. Then I probably want to start with the API testing.
Okay.
Okay. So just yeah, just perfect. I mean, just to have a hands-on experience on Selenium concepts, so that you will have no doubts and no things. Srinivas, are you there? Srinivas? Srinivas is not there. Rakesh, you have any questions? Rakesh is not there. Probably he left. Rajesh, you have any questions, guys? Tyagaraj?
No, I don't have any questions.
Cool. Probably you already worked with the Selenium automation testing, right? So you already cope up with multiple what we learned in this session. Tyaga, you have any questions, guys? Tyagaraj? Yeah. Sorry.
Today you had implemented a lot of new stuff from the last.
Yeah. So Pankaj. This guy is he's my best friend from UK guy. He's also dealing with the multiple tools, and he also wants to become a trainer with me. Yeah. Fortunately, he joined today. That's the school buddy. Okay. So Tyagaraj, you don't have anything because one of the reasons that I set up with this live session for Tyagaraj and Balaji and a few more folks, because they are preparing for the interviews. This should definitely help for them to explain the framework, how they're going to implement in the real time to the interviewer. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, Ramesh.
Yeah.
Very thankful.
Yeah, that's great. You're welcome. Okay. So shall we wind up this one today, because it's too late for you also, for me also.
Actually, I want to share one thing. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Last time.
Could you please share this videos and write it in a drive?
Yeah. Once end up with this meeting, right? So it's going to create a MP4 format video into my drive. So it will take, I think, for 15 to 20 minutes, because it's a 3-hour session, right? So probably I will be sharing the link in the Skype or WhatsApp. Okay, you can access that. And guys, you follow my website every day. You will get new stuff. What are the things have been going on in this things. Okay, if you follow my website, guys, you will have updates every day. So that is what we have done today. So if you have any sessions in further, right? So you can go to this website and you can see that what the sessions are going on. Okay, and what things are going on. And I have another website also that is still under progress. Probably I can show you that later. That is not right now. I can show you. Yeah. So this is actual one I wanted to show you guys.
Can you share these two websites in the same text?
Sure,
here?
sure. I'll send out this link as well as video of the links and also this website names. I'm going to. I'm designing another website. Okay. So I'm going forward. This website maybe does not exist. I want to create a different website. Okay. For betterment. Okay. So any questions before I end up with this?
Just thanks.